To play carry, he wanted to do that.
I mean, he's an incredible carry. It's also they were saying that he's very vocal, right? BetBoom already, they have a lot of vocal, a lot of opinions. You have Toronto, Tokyo, Nightfall, they all talk a lot. So I think it made both teams stronger. So, why not maybe some old like OG, EG type stuff where both parties just benefit. So yeah, Tundra, just looking good.
Just double check. So Pure's actually ranked 103 right now on the leaderboard.
Triple digit.
Nightfall ranked 6. So this is a battle of, is MMR just a number from the carry?
I mean, rank 100 is still very impressive.
It's not ranked 6, so is it, Effie?
That is true.
At some point, MMR is just a number.
For average deaths, you gotta correct that.
That's true. Oh, true. Also, rank 100 has the more deaths actually, so...
Oh, damn.
Oh, damn. We're going to find out if that is indeed a difference maker. Speaking of differences, obviously we talked about the carry matchup, but I think one of the more exciting things is GPK versus Topson taking off, because I feel like both have been shining, although I would say that maybe Topson has gotten a little bit more flashy during this tournament.
Yeah, I think Topson will always live or die by the teammates around him. His playstyle is very unique, and if his team understand what he wants to do, then he will look like the Topson that has won multiple TIs. If his team doesn't really know what or why, then it's a whole different story. We've seen him on other teams, but I think this time around, the moves that Topson make is solidified by Whiteman, by 9 class, by Toby, always enabling him to do it. And
yeah.
maybe we see the clicks or whatever.
To do, by the way, guys.
Yeah, is he by himself?
I'm with it.
He's just by himself.
He's also repeating. This should be easy for us to learn. Oh, no, never mind.
Oh, it's too late.
The thing about Topson is he's looked very exceptional on the more annoying mid-heroes of this patch, like the snipers and the Zeus. Yep. I think after XM, he's probably the best sniper. I mean, some may even claim that he's better, but he's been so consistent with his performances on those heroes that it has to be on BetBoom's mind. Like, are we going to take the sniper for ourselves? Are we going to solve it with our first pick?
Mid lane is very tempo heavy, I would say. Like, that's what defines the meta. It's your mid player really like opening up the map. Tempo, Topson, it's like basically the one thing that this guy really brought to Dota back in the day with his exceptional playstyle. Okay, so they do ban out the Coddle. They don't want to give it to BetBoom, who will also take out the Brewmaster. Not the most surprising first phase bans. Maybe the Monkey King, but Tundra, they flex it. Topson, the best Monkey King in the world, so you don't want to give it to them.
I believe I saw a stat which was against Tundra, it's always been banned. I
believe that's 16 times or something?
Yeah, so it's just one of those heroes that at the moment, it is just getting default banned. Maybe if Tundra, the next series they play, be it best of 5, be it best of 3 lower bracket, teams might use this, not banning it to craft some beautiful strategy, but for now, it is banned out and we get to see Panglia once again.
Pango just... very nice hero to always have. I feel like there's not much wrong when you do end up taking this hero. Of course, there's some matchups that are very annoying, some Bloodseekers, maybe Faceless Voids later down the line. But overall, just solid. Nice for your draft, good foundation.
And it's just nice versus Shadow Demon, because typically these big ult supports like SD, Bane, etc., they tend to counter Pango, but not Shadow Demon. Like, he doesn't care about the Purge. He's always going to have mobility, and he's going to always have a means to jump on the Shadow Demon in the back to prevent any defensive disruptions.
Our third game of Pango today, guys, out of 3. I just don't want to see it later today as well. I'm already hitting my peak for...
The hero is good, what can you do?
Please ban it.
We'll see if it keeps winning. Oh!
Oh, and he did. And he did. Congratulations.
Yeah, so where do we take it from here? BetBoom likely afraid that Tundra would have opened the phase, perhaps with a Luna later down the line. I'm not too surprised. They are the best Luna team at this tournament.
Yeah, having a Shadow Demon for yourself is a little bit of a means to offset that, even though now it's getting banned out. But Tundra have looked the best with the archetype that I talked about before. Whiteman on a Clock, on an ET, Pure on a Drow Ranger, a Morphling, a Luna, just these ranged carries.
Yeah. Whiteman just seems like the type of body, the one you talked about, ET being banned out, versus 9 class. I feel he's also like, I love the way he plays teamfights. So he's generally the range forward that then joins Topson and Pure in this mid game. Some Rubik, some Hoodwinks, long range, maybe some Gleipnir stealing some spells. So I wouldn't be too surprised about any of those picks coming out.
I like the fact that at least for Tundra, they have this offense and defense with their supports. Whiteman, I expect him to be in a position to enable his team in some capacity. Whilst 9 class, he's looking for that kill opportunity, looking for the how can I bring Topson more into the game. So having both your supports have different play styles, unlike other teams where supports kind of blend into just the support crew, is refreshing to see.
And for BetBoom, a lot of their staples are still in the pool. Their tiny plus Enigma combination could still be there. The sniper that we talked about also still in question.
BetBoom's Tiny is really, really nasty. I feel like unless Tundra have a cool idea of what then to put there, I would probably prefer to just see it being banned out. Unless they feel like they really need to cover this Pango with one more ban.
They have a single ban, and this is why drafting is so difficult in this position when you are second pick, because your first 4 bans, after you've done that, you have a single ban before your the enemy has pretty much revealed everything.
Tundra Esports.
And they go for the Enigma ban.
Yeah, they banned that out.
I think when you take out the Enigma, you're also kind of tempering the threat of the Tiny. So it just looks like a better hero when it can synergize so well with a laning hero like Enigma. Also, it is a flex for BetBoom. They don't necessarily just play it on Nero. Toronto Tokyo has played it.
I mean, I wonder how highly they rate the Clockwork here. I know they love Clock, and it's generally like good against SD in the game, but the laning stage of SD versus Clock is fairly SD favored. It's also something that Falcons did show us yesterday. So even though it fits their type, let's see, they'll just go with a casual Rubik. Makes sense.
Yeah. When you pick Rubik, here, we already said about how Nightclass wants to join fights. You have the Pango, you expect Topson to make these moves. And Toby, he's often been the hero, the player that likes utilizing the Centaurs, the Kunkurs, even the Zoo heroes. Zoo plus Rubik is a really good lane. So this Rubik pick just keeps Toby's hero pool alive, where you're not forcing him to have to think about certain stuff. BetBoom, they respond with the Dragon Knight, and then the Mirana. Looking at Falcons just a little bit, but very, very potent. We saw the Bane Mirana before. SD Mirana does the same thing. If they get themselves into a map where they control stuff, then it is very, very powerful.
Yeah, this is a very Falcons-esque draft, like you mentioned, T. Great job, guys.
4 people.
Well done.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, 5.
We have joiners.
6,
It's
7.
the way.
It's a chain reaction. And it's boom. Keep going, lads. Come on, lads. Come on, keep going left. Please say there's more lads to the left after this guy.
We're at the end.
We're at the end.
It will never end.
He's doing it.
Beautiful. A rampage +2 of beers.
Yeah.
Triple rampage
Triple
of beers.
rampage.
I don't know how everyone's just so willing to do it here, too.
Welcome to England.
We're in the
Yeah.
UK.
I have been told that it's unironically part of the culture.
Okay.
Which,
Yeah, so we book Fridays off so that we can be here day one. Our day one turnout was exceptional. We often Mondays as well. It's whatever. It's just Monday. So yeah, Saturday, Sunday, we'll be drinking. We'll be enjoying the dough.
I can see that. Yeah, Tundra do go for the archetype we talked about, range carry on pure, plus the white mon clock. As BetBoom, they take a page out of Falcon's book, but these heroes in combination, the Shadow Demon plus the Mirana, you just know there's going to be a lot of pressure on that mid lane. That's what you see. These supports are going to be rotating mid, they're going to have a setup on the DK, and they're going to be able to pressure the enemy mid laner, which pretty much looks like a Pango for now, but this hero has been flexed to offlane.
Yeah, BetBoom's response going for the Beastmaster. This Pango, if you're forcing him to react, he's not playing his own game. He's not invading the enemy jungle. He's not pressuring what BetBoom wants to do. And instead, now he's going to look towards Beastmaster. Oh, maybe I'll go for a free kill. But you go to him, then you get roared. Beastmaster runs away. You're just delaying the Pangler's freedoms in the game.
Miero's Beast is also very good. Like, he's going to lane with some SD. He's going to be fine at the lane against some Morph Clock. He's got some more joiners.
I feel
Come
like
on, need a triple kill. 1.
It's hard
2.
to do in a bottle.
There we go. Good lads. You made the country proud.
so with the Beastmaster, I think Miero just makes the call when he sees the enemy safe lane. He doesn't even think about it as a hero, like in terms of gameplay or matchups. He just sees, can I play the lane on this Beastmaster? I will have impact. And if you're playing against this Morphling plus Clock, you are not really threatened as a Beastmaster. Your boars do a lot on this lane. Clock can't really fight into them.
I also like it for the mid game. You're going to have some Roche potential. You know that Tundra, with Pango Morph, it's very easy for them too. I would love for BetBoom, like I'm kind of eyeing this type of hero where if you roar this Pango during a roll, that he's actually threatened to potentially die. Like maybe a range carry, you make use of your Beastmaster aura. I don't know if Drow is maybe hard to pick because they have a clock, but if you cover it, it's something you could think about.
I like the Centaur ban there from BetBoom. Again, when you see Rubik, it's such a default position 4 that this complements pretty much any offlane hero here, and the toolkit as well. Damage reduction from Fateball, the defensive tools from Lift, really just brings the heroes to light. Do you think that BetBoom has used the tournament meta to think about DK carry, or is this just a mid laner? I think myself it's probably just a mid.
Yeah, I would lean more towards it just being a GPK hero.
I think when you have supports like SD and Mirana that can always come to your lane and make it so that you get a kill on the enemy mid laner into a tower, then you just put the DK mid. Because SD and Mirana, they're not going to stay on their lanes after a certain point. They're going to be looking towards playing around this DK. And Void gets banned out would have been a great pick for BetBoom here. I like the Drow idea. Honestly, they haven't played it during this tournament, but this is a Tundra specialty hero, so I'm sure they've thought about it and considered it for themselves. There's also the Weaver that we saw yesterday that Falcons brought out with a draft like this. What the Weaver gave them was very early Roche and very early aggression.
Weaver tempo is good, and Weaver has looked very, very good. I'm just kind of look like if they want Drow Ranger, you likely have to ban out a hero like I would maybe Lycan. I would say you're not very well equipped to deal with a Zoo type of boy running in. You want to make sure your Drow can stand her ground. I'm sure there's other options, but that's the one that I'm eyeing for now.
Yeah, I think right now if Tundra see a weak carry, then 100% like this Lycan pick to catapult Tundra into making moves. Sure, beats my pressure one side of the map, but if you throw the Lycan doing the same thing, it's too much.
No, that's how you get the effects going. Shout out to the lighting engineer. Fun fact about the lights for people at home. The lights change in the arena based on if it's night or day in game. Very cool.
But Tundra have to solve the Beastmaster tempo, because if you're looking at a Beastmaster DK with 2 supports,
Okay.
you need something that can play into that kind of tower aggression.
And instant Zeus.
So it is the Pango being flexed off lane here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so every time we look at Pangolin off lane, it's can it play the lane where it isn't going to die or get pushed out? A PL is a farming carry. So Pangolin should be able to live throughout that one. You pick the Zeus to deal with PL in some degree, but PL in this game, there's no perfect lockdown for him. If he can get to Diffusal, Ags, plus whatnot, it is going to be very obnoxious to try and kill him off with the Moonlight Shadow and the Sage from SD as well. Yeah, I like the PL pick. And I respect the fact that Tundra did go very aggressive with the Zeus. Instant Zeus pick. They just didn't care.
The thing about the Zeus, though, is I am concerned for its safety, because we've talked about the SD Mirana setups playing with that mid lane. There's going to be a lot of threat on this hero early on. It is very easy to punish, and there is going to be a lot of presence in this mid lane. And what Tundra are going to need to offset that is an early level 6 from the Pango. You're going to need Toby to be able to rotate in when these dives are happening. And it just feels like Tundra's draft, for that reason, is going to be harder to pull off than BetBoom's.
Yeah, I'm kind of looking at Toby to when in the early game this GPK, DK hits level 6 and they're pressuring mid, that he can try to offset that. I do like the Zeus a lot. I'm having a very hard time deciding between the two teams. I will have to stick with Pure and Thompson's type of mid game where they play with the high range, but honestly, this game is really up in the air. This is gameplay only in the mid game.
That's what we like.
We did say coming into this that Toby wasn't really like a star player. He did his job. In this game, I think he needs to be a star player. He needs to pop off. He needs to do all the stuff for Tundra to feel good in this game, because if he has a bad game, BetBoom are just going to, relish this game one.
Well, I think all of what your guys are saying is obviously very smart, but it's also meaning that we're going to have a very close back and forth game in our hands where everybody is putting everything on everything to try and get that first game in the bag. Winner here in this best of 3 will secure top 2 grand finals here at ESL 1 Birmingham. So there's a lot on the line. And because there's a lot on the line, we bring out the big voices. So let's head over to OD Pixel and Fog for this upper bracket finals.
Thank you very much, Shiva, and hello, Birmingham. We cannot wait to get into the action with this one. Tundra up against BetBoom. Fog, this is going to be the top of the top in terms of the level of Dota we're going to witness here.
I mean, we're blessed with an epileptic kid. If those people that remember that name, of course, Nightfall, his old name, playing his Phantom Lancer, one of his legendary carries that he's... this guy has thousands of games on this hero, if I'm not mistaken, across all of his Smurfs and whatnot, so super comfortable pick. We saw Pure, of course. He's playing his Morphling again. He had some very successful games on this, and Thompson playing a nice scaling Zeus, which can do well versus a PL in a lot of instances. But let's see if they can withstand the pressure that BetBoom has, because their draft just looks terrifying.
Yeah, looking at this, GPK, Dragon Knight, Mirror on the Beastmaster. There's going to be a lot of pushing, a lot of early towers being potentially taken, unless Tundra can sort of form together the defenses. I mean, they have heroes that are going to be able to enter into these early fights pretty soon in the game, right? You've got like the Clockwork, the Pango. These can really start the brawls and maybe be that D-push that they need to relieve the pressure and give time for Pure to be able to carry this on his morph.
Yeah, time will definitely be needed, because that pressure is going to come early. Beastmaster, DK, they're going to force the issue. These lanes, they look quite strong too, right? The SD, the Beastmaster, which ideally they will, but they'll probably set those one up, versus a Clock and a Morphling. I've seen a lot of times now this SD versus the clock in lane. The clock just can't do anything. You use battery assault, he puts you under, he fights you with illusions, or just gets the illusions of the carry and throws them on you, and it's problematic. So let's see how Tundra looks to solve the issues of this here too, as picking an early Rubik as well. Looking at the spells he can steal.
Yeah, what's it ended up like?
I mean, there's some decent stuns and stuff. If he can get Roar, it's probably the best one, but we'll see what 9 class is able to get on this hero, because it's not like there's some godly one that he can actually get.
Oh, we will see BetBoom. They don't want to try and fight around this bounty. As soon as the shield crash was coming in, they back away.
And let's see these wards that are placed out very early. So double sentries placed around the Ancients, of course, and the hard camp, so wanting to prevent stacks coming out from Save and from Yarrow. So it looks like to me like they're trying to smash this bottom lane, right? Whitemon really wants to put the pressure on with Pure so that they have to go back to stack, but then they can't because they're blocked up. So I'm going to be looking at this bottom lane quite a bit here.
For Pure, what does sort of the outlook of the whole game look like for him? If they don't get run over in the early stages, is it a pretty simple morph game, or is the PL always going to have that kind of favorable matchup in some parts?
I haven't seen that matchup actually in quite a long time, to be honest with you, so not 100% sure, but it doesn't look the easiest for Pure by any means. He's playing versus the SD also, which is pretty obnoxious. Just being able to save targets over and over again. There's hard lockdown as well.
There's a lot right here. There's Dragon Tail into the Roar, potential follow-ups, Arrow from Arana. If they can start the jump on him, it's going to take a lot in terms of items and moves from Tundra to try and bail him out of those situations.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll see how that one plays out.
And on this top lane, how's pressure going to be on the PL in this early stage? Obviously, Nightfall coming in with this is the last pick. Has it ended up a situation where he should be fine as the carry on these early waves?
I mean, they do have the harassment that's constantly coming from the Mirana, but I've been seeing these offlane Pangos do better versus these illusion heroes. As we saw yesterday in particular, JT versus the Naga kind of smashed the game, so have to watch the first couple waves how he's able to do. I think Toby should be pretty fine up here.
It will be likely to be difficult for Toronto Tokyo to make any crazy early moves. I thought probably going to need to be babysat for quite some time against these two with the spam that they have.
Yeah, this is going to be a pretty passive lane from the side of BetBoom, I'd imagine. Unless there's a big mistake that comes out from Tundra, just feeding tangos to the PL, making sure that he can keep that farm going. I see Toronto Tokyo started with 6, and he bought an immediate extra 3, so just wanting to pass those over. Yeah, Nightfall looks like he should be pretty good, actually, to be able to get this farm consistent versus Toby.
And then the mid lane, Topson versus GPK on this Zeus versus DK. Nothing crazy is going to be happening over here, right? This is free farm for the both of them, for the most part.
The only thing that could happen is maybe a rotation, right? Because there's very strong rotations, I would say, from the side of BetBoom, and SD and Amarana could look to swing over and get a catch.
The CS so far, we do see with the pressure that Save and Mira are being able to put on this bottom lane, it's just a bit of a slower start for Pure.
Let's see if they can get any of these boars to get the deny. Can they get the second one? Nope. Playing it really nicely down here on the side of BetBoom.
That's a strong lane.
Very strong one.
Not going to be an easy start for Pure. They're trying to see each time if they can try and get in potentially onto Save.
It's just never easy to do so. Between the illusions and the boar and the hawk and everything, it's going to be pretty difficult for Whitemon to really use battery assault too effectively, even though it does, of course, extra damage to these creeps and whatnot. Its illusions don't care.
Top lane just trying to get this lane in a bit of a better position.
Ouch, Pure missed the money creep because of that pause, I think, actually. It kind of hurts. Lotuses, it looks like it's going to be both claimed here from BetBoom. So on top of getting a bit of CS advantage here in the first few waves, especially, they'll be able to get those as well to keep the pressure going.
Not what you expected.
Very difficult, of course, to get on top of Toronto Tokyo at these early stages. He's perfectly fine. He's got wands, he's got Lotus.
Oh, cool. We see GPK do the gloves before the second bracer on the DK this time around, just to ensure these last hits. I love when people do the gloves. I feel like I talk about it quite a bit, so won't talk too much about it. The attack speed's just so nice when you're not under pressure in a lane from a hero. You just be able to CS so much nicer because you're high base damage and reducing the damage of the enemy mid laner.
Absolutely, yeah. They're just for the early levels of spam with the arc lightning. It's not going to threaten this DK at all now with those early items on GPK.
Not at all.
Here perfectly safe. Pure's got to be a bit careful.
He's dropping low.
Let's be cautious here with the shifting. The pressure just continues to build up on this bottom lane. Now, soon we'll start to see the tier 1 take a bit of damage here.
Yeah, now it's like those 2 sentries that they did place. You know, Whitemon buying extra sentries to block those ancient stuff. They're not even going back to go for the stacks. He should be able to clean up the boar here. Nicely done from Whitemon, but now...
Maybe try and look from that. Cogs are down. I mean, as hard as it is for him to go on them, it's also very difficult for them to turn, as long as the cogs are always available for him.
The lane is not in the best position here for Pure. He's going to eat a ton of harassment stepping up here. And it's going to continue pushing out. I see another wave coming forward. So a slow start for Pure. But Nightfall also is getting slowed down a little bit up here from the pressure
That's
from
true.
the two of them.
Pretty similar.
Yeah, it's pretty similar. Bracer picked up on PL. He's just safer though, right? Like he's missing some last hits and stuff like that, but he's full HP, so under no real kill threat on the side of Nightfall. Pure, I guess, technically isn't either, as long as he plays it safe. Which these Morphling players are just very good at doing. 5 minutes, nice and slow. GPK actually buying himself a blood grenade. This is kind of cool. I think I've seen him do this before on the mid DK, where he goes for kills by himself.
Okay, well, you get with the 6, the other Dragon Form, and then you just kind of full commit.
Yeah, I
maybe
think
even look for the dive play.
I've seen a couple players even do it on like, and this is some time ago, but like mid Earthshakers and stuff, you just go for the commit. You go for that big kill. Could work out. As long as the rotation comes, we'll have to see around that 6-minute power run who's going to make the first move.
If you get Toronto Tokyo in the neighborhood and he's able to line up an arrow off the back of Dragon Tail setup, absolute chance at kill potential in the mid. Of course, the TPs in return could definitely bail out Topson if he gets gone upon. If Whitemon gets in, is able to push them back with the cogs, should be able to give enough space to allow Topson to get out of that sort of attempt from BetBoom.
And here comes this move already. Double supports from BetBoom. Imagine we'll see the Tundra supports look to start moving too. But it's DK level 6 with the catapult wave already shoving in.
Tundra will have to bring a few over if they do want to try and stop BetBoom from taking control of Power Room, but as it is indeed with the 2 supports, it's an easy pick up here for GPK. They'll get himself the Dragon Form and the Illusion.
Topson, be careful how far you step up here too.
They really want to look for the dive here. If they can get any sort of setup, they'll be straight in onto Topson. So Tundra as a team, they've got to be prepared.
They have to know. None of the supports have shown in the side lane for like 40 seconds, so.
Save.
He's trying to stay far back, but
and
he's
here's the TPs. Immediately they're ready. The arrow connection will be there, but Whitemon's in with the TP. He'll step over towards GPK with the battery and stop.
They got him anyway.
Topson's been brought down. Now let's see if they can turn over for more. Whitemon backing off under the tier 2. Same to be said for 9 class. Whitemon's going to fall pretty low. He should be fine, but BetBoom getting away with that move. It did indeed look like
he
Tundra
knew.
were ready for it, but it didn't matter. The damage was done. Nothing could be done there in order to save Topson.
Honestly, he was in his best position I feel like you could have. He was so far back and still gets caught from it there.
Incoming.
Nice arrow from Toronto Tokyo. Wisdom runes. Looks like 9 class already set up for his. 2 TPs forced to try to react. And how much? Mid tower actually only took like 600 damage, but still something there from that first DK form.
They'll return back to the side lanes to support the BetBoom, but you can absolutely imagine that when that 8 minutes comes there again, they could look to do a very similar play. I mean, if Tundra weren't able to stop it happening with the TPs that they brought in previously,
Pure, oh my god, he stayed too low, level 3 axes.
Oh, I hope we can get a replay of that one.
I think he had an extra stack on him too.
You don't expect that to happen.
He tanked him point blank. He just tried to hit the arrow.
What happened there? We'll see if we can get that. It's not going to look pretty, I'll tell you that. And we've got it right here.
I mean, look, he just tanked it. He had 4 stacks already, so he took the 6th
completely
stack.
Just caught by surprise by that damage. I mean, that's a huge kill there for Mira to get, level 6.
Yeah.
Getting a solo kill against the Morph like that before you've got the Roar online. I mean, this is the dream for Mira's Beastmaster.
It's like more than the dream, right? Like being able to get a Dominator this early, like we're talking about the pressure that BetBoom's able to apply. There's not really the easiest ways for them to deal with a DK plus a Helm of Dominator / Overlord early. Crazy. That's really big for this side of BetBoom.
A rare mistake there from Pure. A carry player that's, in terms of his mechanics, have been pretty perfect this event.
Something you just don't expect, right? Those max axes. Maybe he thought it was just level 2 axes or something, level 3-4, but Miero, I love this build. Big magic damage versus that morph.
If it's going to catch him by surprise like that, it's worth it every time, that build.
For sure.
Back to the lane, Whitemon. Ready here with Pure. Making sure that that sort of situation doesn't arise again, and if that sort of move's attempted, Whitemon will be able to disrupt it with the cogs and maybe even try and threaten Mira, but as you say, it's going to be hard. The fact that he's got this early Helm.
But the one thing is, like, at the same time, look, I'm just keep looking at Nightfall's farm, and he's actually still behind Pure. So he's getting slowed down quite a lot just from that. I mean, it's mostly been Toby just sitting up here playing versus him. Nightfall's actually queued up the Midas. This might be one of the first Midases I feel like I'm seeing on one of these carries.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, in terms of when we've sort of seen PLs in the past, right, this has been a build that they do like to go sometimes, and everything going off to a pretty good start elsewhere. definitely reason to believe that Nightfall can look to play the scaling game and go for this Midas into Ags.
Yeah, he's just going for full greed. He just wants to play that, you know, the eventual point where the PL versus Morphling matchup becomes quite, well, used to become pretty impossible for Morphling, so. If his team is having such a good time in the mid lane and the off lane, yeah, he definitely feels like he can go greed. A slow-paced game, though.
And non-class and White One, they were looking to see if they could maybe get some sort of setup or grab around the tier 1, but BetBoom are not giving it to them.
Difficult when you're playing versus the Shadow Demon as well, too. If you just overstep your bounds a little bit, he gets a save. Things could quickly turn on your head. GPK soon blink.
It's going to be so close.
Yeah,
and at that point,
up.
you can move around the map with sort of just 3 of these heroes, and the sort of jump kill potential is going to be very high, very early on from BetBoom.
And the side of Tundra overall, like they don't really have that clear-cut initiator. It's going to be, yeah, Toby rolling in with a Rolling Thunder from the sidelines, but it's not a blink stun into some follow-up. It's going to be a little bit slower for them to build up that kind of catch and chase. It's going to take quite a long time for them to have that natural initiator. I mean, Whitemon, yes, he'll have his hook shots soon, but hook-shotting into this BetBoom lineup could be pretty scary. Once they start getting these timings, of course. But Farm is still keeping pretty consistent, so.
They've just got a lot of difficult heroes to kill.
Yeah.
Even if you get the jump on them, they're likely to be able to survive, turn it around, or just straight up escape.
Yep, Mirana just leaps away, PL just doppels away. A lot of difficult ways for them to die. His GPK amplified damage, and he's got the blink, so could see some rotations coming out soon. Save. He continues to just getting these big stacks going to enable the Beastmaster in the meantime, but Catapult Wave, it's coming in. Do they want to make a move over here? See where GPK looks to go with this blink reveal.
Top lane would probably be the easier one to connect with. They do have pretty good vision themselves going down the river towards the bottom side of the map, though, BetBoom. So maybe that will be where he tries to play.
And right now they seem content with just, yeah, chilling, finishing up these stacks, getting this timing here. This is giving time, though. Toby, I believe his defusal is soon finished. Yeah, a lot of stacks.
Farm, of course, still very close. And we'll see now that the 6 has been hit here on the clock. They're ready to go for some sort of a move. Whitemon ready to swing over with Thompson, see if they can burst through one of these heroes.
They've got good ways to scout. That's what the Clock and the Zeus, we've seen this combo kind of picked up a lot more. I think Tundra more than anyone, just to be able to find heroes.
Or Nightfall. It would be the dream catch here. They get the setup. Hook. Oh! Though. It's a swing and a miss there from Whitemon. They needed that to hit.
Did the slow, I mean, maybe the slow just tricked him a little bit there, the phylactery slow. That's a painful miss. And now the rotation, let's see where BetBoom looks to punish with that, since they see a Zeus ult and a Clockwork Hood shot used. They're going to just hit mid-tower and pressure bottom.
Straight in with the push. I mean, GP's going to be coming in, but Toronto Tokyo is here as well.
I mean, bottom tower is dead in seconds. It's a Dark Troll Summoner push.
9 class. He's going to be set up upon here by the disruption into the arrow. TPs are coming in, but with the damage and control that GPK can offer up, it's a quick pick.
And Whitemon, I can't believe he finishes this TP.
It's a little bit scary, especially with the tier 1 tower falling as low as it is, as GPK is just going to be able to continue with this push. Take this tower, and we are now starting to see that gold lead show itself here in favor of BetBoom with the way that they are just kind of crushing this early game.
Yeah, out-pressuring and out-efficiencying with the stacks, at least from what we've seen.
And the fact that Nightfall's going to be running this Midas, which is currently on its way out to him.
Yep.
There's a lot of problems that are building up that Tundra, they've got to try and find some answers for soon.
Absolutely. Yeah, because Pure does. We'll have to see, of course, that matchup. I mean, assume the PL, of course, still does excellent versus the Morph because things haven't changed too much for it. So if he's able to get away with this and get these items online while his team just pressures, it's going to be pretty damn nice for this Phantom Lancer. Miro? That's a good catch.
It's a hit. And Miro, I don't think he's getting out of this one. He's trying to tell
he
with
gets
the
roar off.
He might have a chance to escape. The backup comes in, a disruption saves there from Stave, but Toby has the Rolling Thunder. Another lightning bolt comes down.
Stolen roar.
First kill. It's enough to try for a setup on a GPK, but GPK is still very, very tanky here. They're in with the swashbuckle.
Shredded.
Jump forward with the shield crash. Tundra, they'll get themselves on the scoreboard as Thompson finds a double kill.
9 class finds the best steal in the game. He actually does get the roar, able to lock down this DK who isn't able to actually finish any target. GPK blinked forward to try to finish up, I believe, the Clockwork, and actually just puts himself in a worse position.
Yeah, they needed that big time.
Toby.
Here, Tundra.
Yeah, Toby coming in clutch, really. His damage is, I mean, nothing to laugh at there. You saw even the DK taking quite some damage.
Able to set up the fight perfectly for Thompson to just get his complete toolkit off without any sort of pressure on him.
Yeah, look at that.
The damage is done, and Thompson gets a very nice burst of gold.
Bring things back to 0.
BetBoom likely to be much more careful about how they go around those jumps next time.
Yeah, perhaps looking to maybe finish up the... Maybe they just finish up the Helm of Overlord.
I think so. I mean,
I think that's probably the
They're
timing.
making so many stacks for him with these Ancients. He does continue to get very, very good farm. Is it, as you can see, going to be a catch-up game for Nightfall, but with the Midas, he should be able to close that gap at the moment.
I'm still surprised how poor he actually is. I feel like he's been left alone for quite some time, and he's still not able to keep up with the rest of the cores. He will eventually, of course, but still just surprising to see that he is at the bottom when he has literally, it feels like he's gotten very little pressure on him except for that one rotation that they put.
Yeah, when you have the
Hook shot.
I mean, leaps are at the ready.
And he's
Not going to get them the kill here. Toronto, Tokyo, perfectly fine. Moonlight Shadows up. He's away. Pure. He's going to go straight for the Lincolns this game by the looks of it. Make sure he has that protection against the initiation from BetBoom.
Very good Lincoln's game. Yeah. Roar disruption. DK stun. Always going to provide him a ton of extra sustain and survivability. Game slowing down a little bit. Hook shot going to be back up in about 20 seconds. Tundra still positioned on bottom, looking for Miero perhaps one more time.
They do show, of course, with Toby, so unlikely that Miro's going to step up too far. It's going to certainly suspect that something's being planned around here.
Oh, this is cool.
And Tundra, indeed, they'll play with that knowledge that BetBoom's going to assume that the play's down bottom in mind. They'll look to swing over towards the top side, see if they can maybe find something big. Of course, Nightfall's relatively close, but with the Thunder God's Wrath being popped, he's going to know they're after him. So Tundra, they'll settle for save instead.
Whoa! I mean, the Roar is probably about to be ending. Yeah, the steel's moved on, but that's still two hooks he's used. That's a Rolling Thunder and a hook shot, so the other cores on BetBoom probably can feel some safety now off of that. I mean, but Tundra will take any kill they can get. It still feels really good whenever they can get any of these to make the space for Pure. He's under no pressure when all these heroes keep dying.
Farming quite aggressively here, Pure. I mean, once he has the Lincolns, he should be able to do so. So it will be tricky for BetBoom to get the setup onto him.
Tundra's making the quicker moves right now. BetBoom, of course, they're getting that farm. You see, it just continues to build up if there's any downtime there where Tundra's not making a move, but Tundra's still kind of hunting.
Yeah, I mean, they got the hook shot back up in 10 seconds.
Bit difficult now for them to get a kill here onto GPK on Miero. The Helm of the Overlord is done and the Mage Slayer is done, so quite a lot tankier.
BetBoom, they're going to take a bit of a page out of the Book of Tundra. They'll also smoke up and take the Twin Gate to try and catch them by surprise top, or indeed maybe look for the Roshan.
Yeah, I think it's going to get scanned though, so immediate scan does come out. Looks like they wanted to set up for a kill perhaps first.
They did see earlier that Pure was farming, pushing out this top area of the map, but
look
Pure,
at his vision. It's right on top of him. Oh,
they get that jump open. He should be pretty dead.
Oh, he's gone.
PK is pretty much able to do it alone. Gets him with the Dragon Tail stun. An easy kill here for the Dragon Knight.
And it's the last like 40 seconds of the ward too. That's the picture-perfect moment there for BetBoom.
And now what, back up and Roche, or not quite yet?
Probably could. They can look to threaten it for sure. Yeah, with the Helm of Overlord, it always allows you to get this. Interesting to point out too, I don't think I've ever seen anybody buy this item first. Toronto Tokyo bought the Ring of Taras as one of his first items because he's just rushing a pipe.
That's pretty well.
It's like one of the worst items on item value of the game. Yeah, but once you upgrade it,
yes. If he could get, I mean, which will probably be one of the quicker pipes, at least in this position on Mirana. That will obviously add a lot to the early push and definitely make things difficult when it comes to trying to come in with the deep push. Now, suddenly there's Zeus and Rocket Flares and Fade Bolt. That's not going to stop BetBoom from knocking at your doorstep.
I mean, it's a really cool approach, right? Because usually you just see like the mech picked up usually, but this game it's so much better for a pipe. Even though it's such a difficult item to purchase in most games, yeah, it is very valuable. Nightfall, Aghanim's is about to be finished, so he can actually look to start getting involved himself too.
Yeah, and his farm's just going to skyrocket.
Yeah,
you know,
now he's tied.
The Midas Axe is online. This PL will likely very soon hit the top spot, unless somehow Tundra are able to make a move to try and get on top of this PL. But with the Aegis in the hands of BetBoom on the Dragonaut and GPK, it's pretty difficult for Tundra to enter in onto BetBoom's side of the map right now.
Absolutely. They did get a nice ward down during those last moments, though. When Pure was dying, I did see White Mom sneak into the Ancient side. He did get a ward down. So if any way there was for them to get him on Nightfall, it's with that ward that they have right now.
Blink Dagger also picked up now here on the way out for save. So it'll be much easier for him to get in position with the disruptions to make it that little bit harder for Tundra to have a chance of bursting on someone and going on them at the start of a fight.
And Toby's just gone for more of like a selfish build. He's gone down to just the Ags build, which is going to be great to clear, of course, these summons and these illusions inside the fight, but not having that follow-up now for the Whitemon. They kind of just have to be in the perfect position around Whitemon if he does find a hook shot. Not having that secondary follow-up just yet.
Radiant's middle tower.
BetBoom's just getting that farm going. I'm just seeing the supports farming a lot more.
I mean, they're close to their items, right? As you say, you know, Toronto Tokyo is only about 300 gold away from having this completed pipe.
And the impact of these two supports just feels very strong. Like, unless 9 Class is able to somehow get these godly steals, which is pretty difficult this game, it's really mostly the Roar. It does feel difficult for them to have this similar impact of the other two supports, especially with BetBoom scaling with the blink on save. He's always going to be in position. See if Tundra can find anything here with this rotation.
They're looking towards bottom.
It looks like they were kind of thinking about smoking, but then opted against
It's just
laying.
super hard for them to make a move on anyone. They see Toronto Tokyo was pushing out the waves, but it's not really the hero you want to be making the gank towards.
No, it's just tough heroes to really set up for, as you were saying from earlier. They're just elusive.
Yeah.
They might just have to settle for this if they see him, but he's already got his pipe finished. It's got to be one of the earlier support pipes, I think, that we've seen. Because I don't think we've seen that many, at least first item picked up.
And they've still got a good amount of time to try and push with it. Still about 2.5 minutes left on the Aegis for GPK.
Yeah, look, I think they might look to group up a little bit here soon.
Yeah, their 5-man group up at this stage is going to be incredibly strong and very difficult for Tundra to stop.
It's just, do they actually have to group up is the question. Maybe they just look to fight it anyway.
Might be like, let's keep farming, boys.
It could be.
He's having the point. He's at this point of the game where
Nightfall, he shows himself.
see if they can burst him. They've got a doppelganger away.
Moonlight Shadow, the hook
It's
shot.
a good angle from Whitemon. The Rolling Thunder's in. They should get him. They're clearing out the illusions. They'll be able to clear out him. It's a big
Beautiful.
kill. Exactly what they need, and we'll give them a chance to take their tier 1 tower. They'll slow down Nightfall's farm.
They might be able to take Tormentor too. Wisdom Rune is already claimed, but I think they can at least deny this one away with that move. Nicely done. Good trap. 4-4. He's so quiet. Still a very slow-paced game, but very nice moves coming out there.
Scaling potential, of course, it is still there, and, you know, whenever there's this Zeus in the game, and when Thompson has the Shard and the Manta, the way it's going to be able to kind of push waves out, cut waves,
And he's
can
always
make it difficult for the game, the map, to get into a position where BetBoom will be able to shove down a lane with the 5 of them.
And hey, if the Morph isn't able to address or deal with the PL, Thompson could be able to if he's actually able to survive in these fights.
I mean, as we were saying at the start, you know, back in the day, Zeus already had its strengths against PL. Nowadays, with the right-click capabilities as well, it's something else to add in there that will help clear through the illusions.
I'm so curious to see how this is all going to kick off when they all just start, when the team fights actually start happening rather than these small individual little pickoffs. Mant, I believe, done now for GPK. BKB's done for Miero. I mean, BB and BetBoom is still hitting some big timings, but Tundra, they're also just kind of matching these timings.
Yeah, it's all going to kick off pretty soon, you can only imagine.
Toby.
Maybe not with this Aegis, though, because only a minute left on the Aegis here for GPK. Ah, never mind, they do want to try. They've got 40 seconds left to go with this.
They got 3 item timings, right? BKB, Manta, actually 4, including the pipe.
I mean, they're going to be so strong around the pipe. Thompson, he's
Thompson
down the lane. There's the jump for GPK. He's not able to get in with the dragon.
Toby's quick.
Another turnaround. Whitemon, he's in with a hook shot over towards Miro. They'll turn and focus the clockwork first. They'll burn down with the demonic purge. BKB pod Miro.
The Roar on Thompson.
They've got the control on the Thompson. They're closing the gap. They're setting up here with the disruption. They'll be able to surround Thompson. They'll bring the Zeus down as well.
And more.
GPK, he's not done. Dives the tier 2. Gets the jump in over towards the Rubik as he'll try and run away with the pig pole. He's back up to the high ground.
GPK?
He's diving pretty deep here. Aegis is going to go away in a couple of seconds. They'll pull back.
Look at their health. I mean, the pipe absolutely coming into play. I just saw Zeus not able to get many spells off, of course, but I see a Rolling Thunder come in and nobody's really taking too much damage.
I mean, this is the power that you'd expect from BetBoom with the group up potential they have.
Especially if Thompson gets caught, the fight's going to be super difficult. He provides all the damage in the early game right now.
And that was a fight where the initiation, you know, it wasn't a clean initiation either, but it didn't matter in the long run. They're still able to persist and chase him down and get the big kill.
Yeah, Miero just somehow finding the angle to get that roar. It was stolen again, honestly. 9 Class finds a secondary steal, but from that point, the fight was already over. They got completely surrounded on Thompson. 5K lead. Good strike there from BetBoom.
Looking at Toronto in the mid, but yeah, with the pipe even on his own, he's not an easy target to go for. See if BetBoom's able to hold on to tier 1 as Tundra are approaching.
BKB up in 20.
Dire's middle tower is under
On Miero. And no one really can hit this tower. I mean, Toby's trying to, but this is a little awkward for a Pango to walk up and hit this one.
And they are in the neighborhood, BetBoom. They can bring the fight if they want to.
How's Pure doing? Butterfly's soon finished. He's getting his good farm here. But is it going to be enough versus this? Just how much BetBoom is starting to accumulate as a team overall. Blink now on Toby, so easier way to follow up at least on these hook shots.
And to just sort of get in position to be able to clear through the illusions of Nightfall in these team fights when Nightfall does start to get more involved. They'll have some pretty solid, like, kind of illusion clear.
Hey,
if they can survive long enough to get the spells off.
They're feeling their strength right now. Moonlight Shadow to cruise across the map. They want to find a pick off here. Toby, can he hide? He can. Next few moments just feel like, yeah, BetBoom just dictating the pace, looking for these constant kills, while Tundra maybe needing a little bit more time before they want Pure to start getting involved too. I'm wondering when the timing for him to get involved is. Maybe this butterfly will be enough. They're going to go for it, so. They have a haste rune as well on Topson. This could be a difference maker if he can distance himself.
This really could be the sort of make or break team fight here.
Yeah.
Tier 2.
Toby.
Fortification, they'll scout things out with the Thunder's route. They're going to use
Stolen roar
Get
still.
sprayed in onto Mira. They've killed the Beastmaster.
They hung on to that roar.
Already, you can see Wymon just going straight for Nightfall on the back of the fight. They're trying to chase and catch this PL. Nightfall will turn with the diffusal blade slow, but they're closing the gap in. They've got the lift up with the telekinesis. Nightfall, he's falling low. Get the doppelganger off, but it won't matter. He'll go down. Tundra, they'll hold.
Beautiful. I9 class, stolen roar. Miro can't move, just gets fully locked down and gets on Nightfall as well. Can they turn it into more? 10 seconds, Roche could spawn. Such good defensive plays. Perfect. What more could you ask for from the Rubik? The literal best spell that he can steal. He's had it now twice, and he held it for that last fight.
Brilliant smoke play.
Yeah.
From Tundra at a time where they had to hit, and they certainly did. Couldn't allow BetBoom to continue to get this momentum. They shut down a bit of the lead that BetBoom was building up.
Hey, Nightfall, he's looking fragile. That's 2 times now he just gets surrounded. He has no help from his teammates, and he's just gone.
See if they try and make a move quickly again here, BetBoom. I mean, as you say, the Roshan is going to be of huge interest to both teams. We'll see it come back up in just under a minute.
Feels like initiation really is going to be the name of the game for this one. Who gets the jump first? Who's able to pick off one of these targets? As we saw there, if Tundra gets the initiation, just one target's just dead, and they have to just disperse. Probably going to be the same case than the other way. But vision is definitely a problem, I would say, for BetBoom. Playing versus this Zeus and Clockwork, it is a bit difficult for them to get that jump in some of these instances. Still getting great farm, though. Ags DK, level 18 finished. Another timing hit. Perhaps they're going to look to fight right back, get their own initiation.
Themselves, maybe they're thinking about maybe making this move from the mid, top lane. The tower's gone. Tundra, they get out and they're able to take down a tier 2 themselves.
Roshan in 10 seconds.
That's going to be a huge fight around the pit, absolutely.
Let's see.
A little bit of a pause here. Hopefully we're able to get the game back on pretty soon, as this is a pretty pivotal moment.
Yeah, these are super tense moments.
Position-wise, Tundra, obviously in the place to start. I mean, do you imagine it when they see it come back up? Will they go straight in and try and do it quickly, or do you kind of hover around and look to set up for the fight first?
For Tundra, I think they probably want to set up for the fight. They have the Zeus Thunder gods. It's initiation, right? I think it's really going to be who gets the jump first. If Toby's able to get free rolling Thunders off, then the fight's going to be problematic for BetBoom. But if Toby dies at the start,
and who do you if you're Tundra, who do you ideally want to lock down first? You want to just get Miro so he
I think Miro,
roll?
yeah. I mean, ideally any of the cores first, but I think Miro's probably one of the more important ones.
BetBoom's heading in, save. He's going to blink it aggressively, disrupts himself. Isn't able to get any sort of setup. Tundra, they'll retreat. They're backing off. They don't want to take the fight with the information that's been given to them right now.
That's going to give them the rush.
They're playing fully defensive here. I mean, is this sort of understandable why they are as scared as they are? I mean, they're going to smoke them, try and make it back over. Maybe they can get back in time.
Toby's considering at the least. They're going to have rockets to scout.
And in turn, it's enough to scare BetBoom off. Both teams very, very scared about how they go about committing for this Roshan.
Both teams want the jump so badly. And the vision right now, I mean, looking at the way that Tundra's placed these wards, they have some really nice sneaky ones. I've never actually seen this one above there. Yeah, right there. That's a good one. Just out of vision of the century.
And Tundra's still under the cover of smoke.
They see everybody.
They're getting a really good wrap around the east. They're trying to set things up. They're going to look into the tree line. They'll be able to find it.
They're on a boat.
They'll be able to get the jump on straight back. Nightfall. It's a beautiful initiation from Tundra, and they're ready to go for more. They've caught GPK
god, what a game-winning ward. Look at this. I mean, this ward is just next level. It just catches them perfectly.
I mean, it really could be as big as game winning as you say, because the whole momentum is going to shift in their advantage now. They're going to be able to get this Roshan.
Oh, I mean, that was beautiful. Like, they literally just saw the two, like, they saw two people just standing on top of each other. They just get the perfect jump from Toby.
It really was. It's not a chance at all for BetBoom to fight back when they get jumped like that.
Can't even get a single spell off, it seems. I think, what? Yeah, there's a Dragon Tail and a Breathe Fire.
Check this out again.
Smashed. Look at them. They're hugging each other. Picture perfect.
Super easy for Pure and Toby to just lay down the damage onto the both of them.
Nightfall, he looks so squishy. Again and again and again if they get on him. And now an Aegis and a Cheese.
A very, very good smoke there. And maybe one that BetBoom weren't anticipating completely because of the fact that Tundra, they backed off initially pretty far, but then at the same time, they were very quick to get back out and get round behind them. It pays off. 9-6. Tundra now with a 3K lead. Aegis and Cheese in their hands.
And Pure now having a massive separation between him and Nightfall. Full BKB finished after Butterfly. Nightfall can't fight him. He cannot fight him toe-to-toe anymore. Level 20 is also picked up, so he's got the waveform attack targets, which is one of the biggest talents you can have versus a PL also.
In the mid, they're trying to go on. I mean,
look at Pure though.
Follow up. They go through straight away onto Toronto Tokyo. They burst him immediately. Now with the hook shot,
Pure's got no fear.
They get the lockdown. The pushback is a quick couple of kills. Tundra really getting the ball rolling now.
They blew this game open. That one play there, getting that dream initiation, shutting them down again, getting Aegis and Cheese. Pure now has like such a big item advantage. He feels so safe. He can just get involved. He can just jump forward. He just waveformed in aggressively because he's got BKB.
I mean, they might be ready to push the high ground. Still with nearly 4 minutes on this Aegis. Tundra now out of position 30 minutes in that they're the ones threatening the base of BetBoom. Fortification comes to an end.
How do you stop Pure?
And Nightfall just not ready to fight right now. And very, very far behind his counterpart here, that 5K gold plus between the two carries.
Braxton's just dropping. Pure can just stand his ground, even versus these illusions. Miro still not up an arrow. Dodges it. Backdoor does kick back in. He's got 5 stacks of poison, but he's sitting
there
healthy.
We go. The Granite Golem doing his job down mid.
Nicely done.
I mean, that will
keep the racks alive.
The racks going down.
A nice micro.
Heads up stuff here from Miro.
Scanning.
I didn't even notice it.
And they do still have the creep wave coming in on the bottom lane. So Tundra, they can maybe turn to look to taking this tier 2 and maybe trying to make the move towards the high ground from this angle instead.
Don't think they have to leave though by any means. Pure has this Paladin Sword, so he's just healing right back up to full up the creeps. And with Butterfly BKB, he feels more than safe. I mean, they could just keep going. Go for the Tormentor.
The Tormentor again. Absolutely. Taking a lot away from BetBoom here. An 11,000 gold lead. And BetBoom, now that they're playing from this sort of position, I mean, you can only imagine with the way that they wanted to approach this with their draft, their strategy. They wanted to be ahead, falling behind this badly at 31 minutes in. It's not going to be easy to recover from.
Yeah, it feels like they've lost that timing that they ideally wanted with their auras just building up and overall massing and getting that gold advantage. It just didn't really end up happening. Tundra just finds 2 incredible fights. And now there's just such a clear separation between those cores. And Pure doing, of course, that strength morph all the way up to full, grab shield rune, shift back down, and then how the hell do you kill him? He could just walk in, actually, versus your entire team, potentially.
I mean, yeah, they're certainly going to want to go again.
I mean, look at this. I'm pretty sure he's quite unkillable at this point here with this.
BetBoom.
And this ward, another ward that's just a sneaky position. Look at Whitemon. It's the vision. He sees entire BetBoom lineup walking back to the base.
Pure, absolutely ready to just step up there in the mid if he wants to. We'll see how much respect he feels he needs to give. I mean, yeah, he knows how unkillable he is. He's going to walk up.
His effective HP is through the roof when he's got this shield rune.
I mean, how can they stop him? They're slowly getting through the shield rune. They'll get a good amount of stun onto him. So if they can pressure the walls, but Toby's in ready to back him up. Jumps forward with the shield crash.
Just as secure it.
Oh, the backdoor protections kick back in.
Okay.
The back box roars out on the top, so they go straight for the Zeus.
They got Thompson. He stepped up too far.
They're going to look to try and chase him for more. They'll turn over to Toby. Nightfall's in on top of him. It's going to be a second kill here for BetBoom. The defense is good.
How did they catch Thompson there? Was that I guess it was the blink reveal.
Now Pure is going to go for the BKB TP out with Waveform. He's away. Whitemon also able to pull himself back to safety with the hook shot. So the rest of them get out.
Those are big. Catching both cores there. I had to just with blink roar. I guess he just didn't see it coming from the side. Thompson's the one who gets caught. And now Nightfall actually able to attack for once. I think that's the first fight that I've seen him be able to play as hero.
You know, whereas with the sort of the farm difference, it's not really easy for him to do anything about Pure right now. But the other heroes, if his team's able to land these stuns, as soon as Nightfall surrounds them with his illusions, and will still be able to clean up these kills.
9 class.
Oh.
He's got the glimmer. Okay, he's all right. Definitely don't want to give up too many of these kills to this Phantom Lancer.
It's going to be quite the potential for late game battles here between Pure and Nightfall this game, especially with that push there for being shut down. They keep the racks alive again.
I'm surprised. I cannot believe they just keep this racks alive.
I don't know if once again it was Miro cutting the waves or something, but the fact that this backdoor protection keeps kicking back in, it's put a stop to the push twice.
And gives them a good alleviation to be able to get that farm back. A 6k swing just off of that defense there. Tormentors, though, continue just going for Tundra. They've got all their shards. Now they're just getting that golden XP. Thompson has to stay further back.
It's a lot of their damage right now. A lot of their sort of split damage. I mean, Pure, he can kind of focus one target, and with the insane amount of farm he has, he will kill them. But dealing with sort of just a 5-man presence of BetBoom, they need Thompson alive.
Dire are scanning.
And Pure has damage scaling up even more now with a completed Daedalus. Well, spending up for that does mean he won't be playing with buyback.
No phylactery.
And no Aegis right now.
He's playing to kill the PL, right? He's playing for the waveform attack target with the Daedalus and stuff like that, rather than going for your phylactery single target since he's playing versus PL. It's probably the few times that you do see a Morphling kind of change the build, I feel. And I guess versus the summons too, right? He's playing versus the golems and the boars and hawks and etc. and stuff like that, so that's cool.
It's going to get hard to burst the PL though with Nightfall close to the heart. He is getting big.
Especially if Thompson's dead. If Thompson's alive, then that's going to be different, right? They'll be able to always go for this kill onto the PL, but they're giving Thompson all the XP too. They really want him to get that level 20 talent. Level 19 right now down bottom. That'll help him pierce through those tanky heroes a little bit better.
I imagine both teams in a game where the back and forth has been as such. They'll probably wait for the next Roshan. We're going to see when it's going to be back up in a minute.
And look to keep, the name of the game is still going to be initiation of who gets those jumps and who's able to find those backline targets.
And for Miro, we've got to keep eyes on him, continuing to sort of make the micro happen, get these, the creep cutting done. So even when Tundra's approaching the base, they only have limited time to try and pressure the buildings.
Pretty cool rune. There's an amplified damage up top. PL not the best holder of it, of course, but GPK could look to grab that one up. GPK also has his Octarine finished, and he's got his 20 talent too, so he is quite a bit of a threat too. He's very obnoxious for these supports.
Thompson, of course, didn't get the cheese off in the last fight, so we'll still have that.
Yeah, you got full chain stunned. Level 25 already hit on Pure. So 4 levels ahead of the PL.
They're going to head out. It's getting close to the point where Roshan may respawn, so BetBoom, they know that this is the time where they do start to have to take these risks leaving the base. Thunderbolt's going to be popped. And Thompson knows what's up.
What item timings do they have too? They did get, GPK has the amp damage and his Octarine, so maybe looking to try to catch that before that Roche does spawn. And
I mean, they want to smoke up themselves here, Tundra.
They seem to know where they are. 9 class in the front line.
It's risky. I mean, it's up to sort of the telekinesis or the hook shot in terms of just getting that initiation. But even then, BetBoom have ways to respond to it with the potential disruption saves.
They have vision here on the side. I think they just saw Pure for a second. BetBoom looking to set up here. Can they get a big jump?
Miro would be a pretty good target, but he's going to be the one to get the jump.
They're on Toby.
They go straight for the Pango. The roar into the arrow. It connects perfectly, but Whitemon is in with the hook shot. He's got the contact out onto the Pure. He's fighting back. He's killed off Miro. You see him try and jump to the side, turns into the PL. He's looking towards Nightfall.
He's trying to disengage.
He'll get the Spirit Lance out over towards him. He continues to close the gap and saves him with the save with that disruption to try and help Nightfall out here. But Pure remains on top of him. Nightfall's
GPK's on top of
the doppelganger. GPK forcing over towards the Zeus. Thompson's able to heal back up to full HP, and now he can turn and dish out the damage to GPK as they'll chase out the Dragon Knight. GPK has to run. It's Pure.
Can he get away?
Tries to close the gap once more with Waveform. GPK trying to juke around the trees, but there's no one else to run. Pure able to claim another hit with the help of Thompson's damage. Now Nightfall He's going to try and tackle this here with Tundra Tokyo, trying to take on the three of them. They'll go for top.
They're hitting the real hero.
They killed the Zeus, but Pure, he's able to snipe Tundra Tokyo with another waveform. Now he looks back over to Nightfall. Nightfall's able to kill off Whitemon with the illusions. It's 4 dead on Tundra. Only
kiting.
Pure remains.
They're just kiting. Pure's now isolated.
He's
Nightfall.
for the waveform TP.
Whoop.
Anything to stop it, they don't. He's away. Pure will manage to make it out of there, but the casualties are high in that fight.
Honestly, Aviana's Feather just did so much work for Nightfall. I didn't see if he got it like during the fight or something like that, but this evasion actually allows him to stand his ground in the fight longer than I expected. Full vision, of course, too, in that one.
That really was the difference maker. The fact that they just couldn't kill the Nightfall PL.
It was close, too.
Yeah, Pure's best efforts. He was chasing Nightfall pretty much throughout the whole fight, killing off supports left, right, and center. He tried to focus the PL, but couldn't do it on his own. Nightfall gets away.
In that fight, too, like where it gets toward the dire side on that hill, he was hitting the real PL with almost all his hits and the evasion. I'm pretty sure it was like 3, 4, 5 different evasions that came out there, because Pure hits hard. He has a data.
This could be big, though. I mean, Toby's going to pop the Rolling Thunder just in case they were trying to sneak the Roshan with the 3 of them on BetBoom that were alive.
That means there's no Rolling Thunder for the fight.
And BetBoom's going to be back up with GPK in 5 seconds. Toronto goes back in the game in 10 seconds, and they obviously pushing out this top lane with the illusions. They know where Pure and Toby are.
2 item reveals as well, too. Hex now finished up on Mira with a Timeless Relic. This Roar and this Hex.
I mean, this opening. Yeah, they popped the link because they get the disruption into the Hex.
They got him.
Pure's gone.
That's the reveal.
And now they're ready to go for more. They're going to look over towards Toby. They get it with the start of the Mindbreaker, I believe, and Toby's gone as well.
Holy crap. 90 seconds.
I mean, that's huge. Miro able to do it there now. Indeed, they've got the setup to go over towards Roshan. Look to take it. It's going to hit the 40 minutes, head to the other side of the map. They can prepare down bottom.
He
get
did not
that Roshan, get the push going.
He had no idea this was coming.
Big reveal.
I think the courier was dead for some time. He had a ton of gold saved up on this Beastmaster. Full purchases, and they have an Orchid, so the lockdown was there.
Yeah.
And now it's a Roche, so back the other way we go. BetBoom finding a huge window back into this game. And it's a pretty big one, too, a refresher shard.
It is.
Pretty massive. If they can get, I mean, double Roar, double Hex. Could be massive.
Yeah, I think, Miro's going to want to take that, absolutely. And they only have, the 3 of them up right now in Tundra. They'll scout it out. I mean, maybe they could go for some sort of hookshot steal.
It's dying too
fast. If he wants to, Whitemon.
He's not in range. It's too far.
Can't make it in time.
Still not in range.
They've got him.
Just not in range.
Aegis picked up here for Nightfall. And indeed, Mira, he's got that refresher shard. So already, that clutch play there coming in with the Hex. Next time, he's going to be able to do it twice.
And he can self-break the Lincolns now at this point. He can go for just a Blink Hex, Refresh, Roar Hex, and just go for that, because he doesn't need the full instance of Disable. If they catch, honestly, even maybe one of these Disables pre-BKB on the Morph, he could just die.
Absolutely. If they get the jump on either Pure or Thompson at the start of the fight, it's going to be very difficult for Tundra to fight 4 versus 5. Eliminating one of these cores could set up for BetBoom themselves to get back on with the push.
Initiations.
I mean, a crazy game so far. 15 to 14, less than 1k gold difference.
We expected these to go the distance in most of them with BetBoom versus Tundra, and we're getting it.
Stuff. Yeah, absolutely are.
The PL versus Morph matchup, of course, now starting to really kick into play.
Thompson, the full refresher. So again, if he can get in position and get his spells off, it's going to be a crazy amount of damage.
He got Timeless Relic too, right? Yeah. And they got all their neutrals. Yeah, Tundra just, I think, got 3 or 4 of their tier 4 neutrals, and Aviana Feather also for Pure.
Well, let's see if Tundra's prepared for this, because BetBoom smoked up. Tundra likely to anticipate this. They're sitting on the high ground here, staying in the base. They know that BetBoom, with this Aegis Cheese Refresher shot, they're going to be trying for these sort of plays.
Nightfall also hits 25 now. So Pure, he was 4 level advantage over the PL in those last few moments, and just from these 2 quick instances, this PL now completely caught up. And that's going to make it a lot harder for them to catch him. This Doppelganger CD.
Spells here. Tono Tokyo steps over in the range of Whitemon and Pure.
Nightfall. They know where he is. He's got the Aegis.
Very, very hard target to kill now.
Deep Vision also, as we saw. I don't know when, I guess Save placed this deep ward all the way on the left side right now. This could catch Tundra off guard. Tundra right now having the ward control here around the Ancients, but that left ward It's spotting out the Pango right now, so they do have some good information being given from it. That was a very sneaky placement
And
from the
they're
S3.
trying to sort of push forward and push them into that area. They're going to get the jump over towards Whitemon. They'll look to get the clock first, but Toby is in with the rolling.
Big roll.
Gets the jump on the two of them. He's controlling Nightfall GPK, but they will still lose Whitemon. He's got buyback available if he wants
Pure
to try
Hex
and get
one.
back in on this fight.
He's okay.
He's shifting up into strength. Very, very tanky.
He's
They're
stunned.
gonna try-
Arrowed.
It's a long stun. Can they save Pure?
They cannot. 100
He's out of
seconds.
the game for 100. BetBoom gets the kill. They'll try and push him for more. Nightfall falling low. And some destruction comes down because he does still have that Aegis to protect him.
He's
He'll be able
alive.
to reset, jump out of the base.
He got hit by a full duration arrow, and then I think roared afterwards as well,
secondary
too.
one came in, I think.
He got full controlled.
And they had nothing to get him out of that. He's dead for 80 seconds.
I mean, the fights are so chaotic. There's so many things around him. I'm sure they couldn't even get to click on him with any of their abilities. He literally just got arrowed, roar, hexed, arrowed, full CC'd.
And they're absolutely going to want to push this up to the high ground. They've still got the Aegis to play with BetBoom. They lost nothing in terms of lives in that last play. The tier 2 is going to be going down. Let's see how Tundra's high ground defense is. They've got to try and pull it together without Pure for nearly a minute.
Thompson has to be very careful with his
If
positioning.
he gets jumped, it's going to be game over.
They do have, I mean, fantastic ways, of course, to clear the wave. Tower not taking much damage whatsoever here, just
Nightfall's
yet.
sending in the illusions. It's pushing Tundra back. It's hard for them to step up. They're at the least going to lose tier 3. What if we get you
Toby.
there? I mean, they're going to jump onto the Pango.
Nice lift.
They'll try and lift him back to safety. They've got the Glimmer as well. No detection on the front line, so he'll be able to back up to the fountain. Toby will live for now.
Nice save from 9 class.
But the tier 3's gone. The racks are exposed. Jump forward. There's that.
They get the roar!
Miro! He gets the perfect jump once again. Thompson's out.
They got what they came for, 80 seconds. Now they can keep pushing.
These two crucial heroes dead without the money for buyback.
10 seconds, Pure is gonna respawn. Might just buy back and give the respect to it. They got so much out of these moves.
They get the barracks.
That's what, 2 fights where Pure is unable to do a single thing.
We've seen Tundra being able to sort of swing the game back in their favor before, but now it's at a tougher point than ever.
There's just too much control for this Morphling. Miro's itemization is perfect. I love this, honestly, love this Hex.
Now ready to go down the mid.
40 seconds, they want to try to force as much as they can.
Let's see what they can do. 40 seconds on the respawn for Thompson and about 40 seconds as well on the Aegis timer here still for Nightfall.
These rockets don't do much.
Tier 3's gone. They're also pressuring the bottom as well here with the illusions.
Pure's not even in here. He's like, I'm just gonna farm. I'm doing nothing, just watching them push.
It's just so hard for anyone to step up and start the deep push here on Tundra.
Pure 800 from buyback, Zeus 200 from buyback when they do respawn.
Nice, the mid-rack's going. They'll be able to get them. BetBoom. They'll probably back off now. Thompson respawning. The Aegis about to expire, but they certainly got
Is under attack.
way more than they came for here in favor of themselves. 12k lead now, 2 sets of racks taken. The items just continue to fly out for BetBoom.
Nice, so impressive. Now they're gonna have continuous momentum, just always shoving in that mid and top. They can just set up for bottom. A full Aghanims now on the SD as well. They just got so rich.
Just what I've been waiting.
Oh, and an Arcane Rune, of course, too, for the DK. And hitting his level 25 as well, too, so AoE Dragon Tail, so even more forms of control to be able to trip up this Morph.
Overwhelming blink as well. I mean, he's as good as ready to end this one, GPK.
And I think for the first time in the game also, seeing Nightfall, he's top net worth.
Yeah.
Even though it's
He
taken
got
this
there.
long, but he's
He got
gotten there. And it's starting to look real strong for him.
And this is the sort of positions that, Nightfall on his PL, he doesn't tend to lose games.
No.
At this point,
Although it's been a long
to
time.
finish it.
Yeah.
That's a tower. Slowly falling. Tundra, what can they pull together here on the high ground? They've got everybody up, and they do have buybacks available on Thompson and Pure.
It's getting whittled down, though. All these illusions, the Raxes are dropping.
And what do you do about this Dragon Knight?
They're
The
dropping quick.
illusions Just doing it, taking down the racks on their own.
And Pure has to show himself to clear the
Somebody's
illusion, but it's
gotta
so
do
scary
something.
when he shows.
I mean, Toby and 9 Class, they're trying to get him from the side.
Oh my, every time Pure shows, I'm so scared. They insta-break the Lincolns, and he just has to be at the ready for some type of save and protection. But he has to be the one to clear these illus. Nobody else can.
They try with a jump. It's a good jump here for Toby. He's able to get him with a stun onto the two of them. Turn over towards Toronto, Tokyo, able to leap away. They'll put the Thunder God's Wrath. Tundra, they're going to try and chase BetBoom out. The hooks there from Whitemon.
It's
but
deep.
immediately silenced. He's brought down low. They'll kill off the clockwork. Whitemon out for 90.
It's
no
way too
buyback.
far.
Now saved. Somebody purge over towards Toby. He's able to swashbuckle to the side. Now it's a 4 versus 5 defense that Tundra's going to have to try and put together. They're already struggling with the 5 of them available.
And Miro just is holding on to that roar, waiting for the opportunity.
And the
Pure
racks are
steps
gone.
up.
The pressure here from the Manta of the DK. It'll do it. The mega creeps are out.
Wow. Save definitely feeling himself now after this.
Such a difficult game now for Tundra. They're up against the mega creeps. They're already, as we saw, struggling to pull together a defense when they weren't having the mega creeps against them. Now that they're there,
Honestly, I'm watching Thompson spamming every single spell to attempt to push these illusions off, and he just can't. Piped illusions just with this DK magic resist, they just stand there. Yeah, they just take no damage from him.
a refresher of Miro, so we saw what he was able to do, the refresher shard. Now he's got the orb himself. A good jump, a good stun, a good hex from him. We'll close the game up.
Yeah, Pure needs the longest BKB as possible, so buys out that refresher to try to have it. It's just so scary because every time I'm seeing him show, it's just even for a fraction of a second, he could just die. They break the Lincolns, they get the CC, and he's just dead.
Roshan, a minute till it's up.
Dire are scanning.
Likely that BetBoom may wait it out, and I think highly likely that Tundra are going to do whatever they can to try and get the waves pushed out so they can look for the fight around the Roshan. I don't know if sitting back and taking the last fight on the high ground is going to be favorable to them. They've got to try and do what they did before, but now obviously in a much more difficult fashion. See if they can get some sort of wraparound, get some sort of crazy jump to catch BetBoom by surprise.
The problem is they're that much tankier now, though, too, right? 5,000 HP DK, 4,000 HP on the PL compared to that long time ago where they were just squishy when they jumped on top of them. And BetBoom, all they really have to do at this point is hug. Nobody has to leave each other. All these lanes are going to push in naturally. And they just have to wait for this Roche, wait for Tundra to come and meet them.
We'll see how hungry Tundra are to make a risky move.
They have to shove this bottom wave super far if they're going to look to do that.
At the moment, they've got Toby on the case. Trying to get that wave pushed out.
He's scared, though, I think. I think he's also like, we don't see anybody on the map. If he shoves that lane, he could just get caught, and I don't believe that he does have buyback. Yeah, he doesn't, so they need everything they can get on Tundra to try to withstand this pressure.
BetBoom able to position themselves now between the Roshan and the base, knowing that if Tundra's going to make a play, it's going to be in this direction.
Rocket to scout. They will see that the Roche is up on the side of Tundra. Top lane and mid are in a pretty okay position if they want to attempt, but BetBoom actually isn't going for that Roche just yet. They're looking to go for a kill. They see Pure. Another arcane rune for GPK.
Tundra might not expect this.
It's a bait.
Pure's going to jump on.
It's a bait.
He gets caught. Straight into the catch here. He's out. They'll turn over towards 9 class. It's going to be 2 dead. Toby has to roll away with the Thunder. But that could be it as he's out for 90. Pure doesn't have buyback gold.
That's got to be it.
They're ready to run it down mid or run it down the bottom lane here. BetBoom, that's the kill that they needed.
Thompson shows himself.
Just desperately trying to push the waves out. And Miro, he's got him with the Hex. The disruption setup's there for save. They surround Thompson. He's out. He does have buyback, but it would just be the 3 of them against the 5-man push coming in from BetBoom.
BetBoom shot calling, just next level. How many fights is this now? What, 3-4 times I feel like Pure just got get to do nothing. Absolutely nothing.
GPK's in. There'll be the buyback from Whitemon. They've got to try it 4 versus 5 in top to pot for his fresh in the second round of Thunder God's Wrath, but they're in with the stun over towards 9 class. 9 class caught with the Hex. He's gone. As they can continue to beat down onto the tier 4s, clear out the creep wave. Tundra now 3 versus 5. What do they have left?
Thompson's
GPK
caught.
in with the stun. The stun is the roar as well. They're on to Thompson. Thompson's gone. Whitemon as well. This is going to be game. GG is called. BetBoom will take game 1.
Wow, what a turnaround too. It looked like Tundra found their momentum at around that 40-minute mark or something, 30 to 40 minutes. They were fighting hard for like 10, 15 minutes or so, and then BetBoom, what seems like it took like 1 or 2 fights, 1 or 2 mistakes from Tundra. They capitalized on it massively. That was huge. Honestly, Miro ends 2-4 and 18, but just a blink.
The setup,
Just
it really was
one stun.
the fact that they had that sort of superior catch and they knew how to use it. It didn't matter that there were sort of mid-game situations where Tundra were able to punch back pretty hard. At the end of the day, if they get these sort of jumps on Pure, on Toby, on Thompson, on any of these cores, it's always going to be pretty much impossible for Tundra to turn the fights around. they just didn't have the abilities to really save one another. Whoever got jumped by BetBoom, they were out of the abilities to really save one another. Whoever got jumped by BetBoom,
when they're
they were
getting
out
to
of
like this mid game and like the mid late game and stuff like that, they do thrive. But once it gets to that later game, they've had a couple struggles, and BetBoom, they love these late games. We've seen them thrive on them, and this one, it's another example.
And you know, Nightfall on his PL, a couple of fights in the mid game where he was caught out, but his PL is pretty top of the world. He knows when to sort of say, hey guys, I got to sit back, get my items, get my farm online, and then sort of beyond that kind of catch where Tundra were able to jump him up by the Roche pit, he just got his game back on track massively and became this threat that at a certain point he was able to follow up on the stuns, always do the damage, and nobody in Tundra could really go on him.
No, not at all. There was just too many distractions. They had so many different things that they had to deal with. It felt like it just one fight, it feels like it took for BetBoom to fully swing this one back, and then it was just consecutive catches onto Pure because of their itemization. Hot stuff. Miro, I mean, this Beastmaster is definitely something to fear.
I think certainly so. Well, we'll see what happens in the next draft. It's going to be very interesting to see how Tundra try and swing back, because this game one, BetBoom, they certainly had their number, and BetBoom will get the first win in this best of 3.
Thank you very much, ODPixel and Fogged. Yes, BetBoom take it, and a lot of patience in this game. I feel like we watched a game where the balance was so precarious that any kind of wrong initiation would swing it one way or the other. And at the end of the day, it was BetBoom that had the longest breath and were able to wait until the mistake coming out from Tundra. And once you punish that, Effie, it just felt like the moment they took the lead, they just never let go.
And BetBoom are such a composed late game team. I think they're probably the scariest team to go up against in the late game, because you will often see them in these situations where they have to make the perfect move or the perfect play, or just be incredibly patient and wait for an opportunity. And it seems like they always find those windows, even when they're losing. And when Tundra went high ground that one time with the Aegis on the Morph, they found the perfect pick on the Zeus, right? They didn't even think about the Morph. Like, they tried to beat him down initially, but then they just switched targets, Dragon tailed the Zeus, got the Roran, and that was the start of their comeback.
And like that's top tier Dota. I feel like you keep vibe checking each other. Like, you try to force out mistakes from your opponents, and towards the late game, Tundra, they failed the vibe check like 2-3 times in a row. The instant blink hacks from Miro to like come back in the game. Because once they really did that, the game was just really in their hands. Because before that, Tundra actually made a lot of good moves, a lot of good smoke initiations as well. But after those 2-3 moves, honestly, they had no coming back against BetBoom anymore.
Yeah, it felt like that first highlight we saw in the package was the most important moment for BetBoom, right? Like the fact that you pick off the Morphling, you kind of prevented that 11k net worth lead that Tundra had from just being built up and utilizing the clock, the Zeus, to constantly find the heroes and find pickoffs. Like, they get the perfect kill. They do have the better scaling, I feel, with the DK, with the PL. Like, they want to get themselves in that position, but that pickoff just opens up the next Roshan, opens up the entire game, and just the individual skill that they have, it is so disciplined that when you get to late game, you expect this team to win compared to some of the volatilities of other teams.
Yep. It did feel like Tundra were towing a very fine line there, where it got to a point where, yes, the Morphling was playing excellent. They found their fights, they found their windows, but 1 or 2 mistakes, and that would have been the end of it. Because like T mentioned, the scaling was so good. And even the scaling on the side of the supports, the Tundra supports fall off really hard. If you're a Clock versus Summons heroes, there's not really that much you can do outside of hookshot in and then die. And if you're a Rubik and you only have 1 spell to steal that could potentially impact a team fight, you're also falling off.
The 30-minute window, like when they did go for the high ground, it's a lot of the times like how much pressure is on you. Maybe because Miro was pulling the wave, so like kind of putting a timer on you to finish this push. Like maybe that's what really like tips it over, where it's like, oh guys, we need to go. Pure starts hitting, people overcommit, suddenly boom, they find Thompson, they turn the game around. It's like, it's about these small things that you find in those specific moments that can really pressure your enemy team.
Yeah, for a long time, it was, for the start, it was Tundra in the lead, because BetBoom was just biding their time, waiting for the right moment, which they did find. But being able to be ahead for as long as they did, T, a lot of that was on the back of vision, which didn't only come from wards, didn't even come from clockwork flares.
No, yeah, it came from it's a bit of a potentially boring one, you know, who knows? Kiddie award of the game. It was actually, bam, look at that, Zeus ultimate. Just trying to change it a bit, because we just keep talking about wards the entire time, but I think with the Zeus ult, with the rocket flare, I couldn't pick both, so I had to pick one. But the reason why Tundra is able to excel is utilizing the vision that Zeus ult gives, right? Like, you want Rubik to steal that perfect one spell. It is with the vision from Zeus. If the Morphling wants to shotgun someone, you need to have that vision before. And I think Tundra, they did exceptionally well at placing that vision. It was only a single pickoff that really gave BetBoom the entire momentum. But the entire game, it felt like you see all these clips. Zeus ult into initiative. It's just, Tundra entering the draft with, this is our Batrider. I'm intrigued to know if they actually are able to play it in other roles. So far, at Birmingham, they've only played it in the 4 position for the 9 class.
But he's looked so good on it, right? Every time I see 9 class play Batrider, I feel like he has such a high understanding of how to use the hero effectively, when to be farming, when to be stacking, the wraparound angles so that you can get Lausos that you shouldn't be able to get early on before your Blink Dagger. He's got the hero down.
It's definitely one of his Siggy heroes. Like, he understands that, okay, sometimes I need to give myself some space. He will like stack Ancients and help the lane and have like this nice balance of back and forth. And he usually has a very early Blink Dagger, like some 10, 11, 12 minutes. So it's a good tool for them in the mid game to always know that, okay, this is how we can start the fight to take it on our terms. BetBoom, take a very, I would say, casual and classic. Kanka also just helping yourself with the fight. So all in all, both teams should be pretty happy.
Yeah, Batrider as well, only having a 37% win rate so far at Birmingham, 16 games. So it's not been the strongest that we've seen Batrider from previous tournaments, but again, Tundra respecting the player-hero combo rather than the the wider meta.
And speaking of player-hero combos, the Brewmaster that Tundra has looked exceptionally good on was left in the pool this time around.
One thing about Kunkka is I think teams that were jumping on the hero very early on in Birmingham, we weren't seeing people threaten it in multiple lanes. He was able to go to off lane and still farm that lane. I think at least nowadays, we're seeing a lot more emphasis on the 5 position, being able to bully the Kunkka, the mid lane bullying the Kunkka. So you pick it early on, you're trying to flex it, but you're running into like an Undying +1 lane or some Raze or like super obnoxious heroes. And I'm intrigued to know if Tundra want to try and start countering this hero this early on.
And the nice thing about this Kunkka too is it's a very good hero against some tops and specialty mids, right? Like the Puck, like the Sniper. This is always going to give you a solution early on within the draft.
I wonder if the Zeus has a lot to do with a potential, like, maybe Luna coming out for Tundra. I think that they're very good at this hero. We all know how strong the hero is, like, early tempo. Most of the time when I have seen Kunkka struggle, it's against some of the more aggressive lanes that he has also been talking about. Whereas BetBoom, they're just sticking to very similar to last game. Good team fight. You have some X-Mark set up for the Mirana, very casual, look to play the map, looks good.
I wonder if Tundra, they're still looking at this Brewmaster for Toby. Like I mentioned, he's just looked a cut above all of his other heroes on this hero in particular.
They are.
I mean, do they have solutions for it yet? Not necessarily, but I mean, Disruptor is banned out, so you don't have that AoE silence for the Brew, but I would imagine any kind of like burst damage or follow-up stun could work here for BetBoom.
They did ban out the Lifestealer, which is good already as well to cover the Brew. I'm not sure actually if Nightfall has played Weaver, but Weaver would be, in my opinion, quite a banging pick against both Brew and Bat.
That's a lot of Mirana fans out there, and they get what they wish for here.
The cameraman is really trying to force us. He's even like slow zooming, but no, okay, not happening.
We got another Clockwork coming out from Tundra. I did feel like Whitemon had a good game there, especially at the start. You saw exactly what he was meant to do, catching out that PL. The couple of times that they did manage to kill him was on the back of his Clockwork.
Yeah, I think if this Kunkka is going to offlane, having a Clock, having a Batrider, these heroes, they can kill off the Kunkka, but also with the Brew when he hits 6 with that split, again, massive kill potential. So I'm expecting Tundra to be way more aggressive this time around, even with the first 3 heroes that they got.
And also Luna, still in the pool. Are BetBoom going to be taking it here themselves, or are they just going to give it away? Because if you're giving away Clock plus Luna and Brewmaster to Tundra, you've played into their hands.
You should also pick the carry and most likely saves hero here, just to keep the Kunkka flex open to then ultimately use it very nicely later in the draft against Tundra. So any, Luna plus whatever save hero wants, maybe a hero that, where you're maybe looking at some Force Staff or some more burst damage, like into this X-Mark arrow combo.
We've seen like maybe the save Muerta coming into play a little bit. I'm thinking they need some really easy spell that allows them to, if we find Brew, we're preventing him from splitting. Or if Clock jumps in, now we kill him off. Because right now you cannot rely on a Torrent or the arrow. Like these aren't reliable stuns to annoy this Brewmaster. And that's why I lean more on the silences. At least when I look at saves hero pool, it's not like I'm going to be looking at, like, you're not going with like a Lion here or something.
Yeah. I feel like BetBoom, they have to be eyeing this Luna for this phase.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, the reason they're taking so long is they could be considering the Weaver that you talked about, Kazu, or even their Tiny that was ignored in the last game.
I guess the only, because I love saves Tiny, but maybe they would be more happy with like a range 4 here to make it easier for the Kunkka to be in the offlane later. I'm not sure, but Weaver is very good. Of course, Brew, Bat, you don't really care about them. You can outmaneuver them. You have AoE damage. You're never really in a lot of threat. But this save hero is, I really wonder what they're thinking.
No, I still like the idea of the Muerta. Super high impact in the early fights, can scale. With the Weavers falling off potentially in the late game, the Muerta will transition to become a core. BetBoom, they really want to try and win their lanes, and they actually do go for the line. It's a hero that we mentioned a little bit, but into clock, into bat, it can be a little bit spooky because they're very backline finding heroes. It's about who jumps who, really, between these two drafts.
But I do think they needed it because they still haven't dealt with the brew within the draft. I mean, this hero should be able to get it split off no matter what, unless you have this save hero where he blink hexes, blink stuns. They have the follow-up Finger of Death to burst it, because this brew is going to be such an issue. And your carry isn't one of those carries that naturally kills rulings. It's not like a Luna or Sven that are just going to beat down on it.
And happy birthday, Cam, whoever that is.
Happy birthday, Cam.
Happy birthday, Cam.
We have a cake. We have 2 spare cakes, actually.
1.5.
True, we did start eating them.
It's good enough for Cam, I think.
Yeah.
But Lion gives you the good answer, as Effie talked about, to potentially kill the brew, burst him out. But yeah, Luna comes out, Weaver, Luna. Not too surprised to see both these carries in the stage.
We trade this card very well.
I don't know if you can hear it if you're watching online, but right now the arena is very, wholesomely singing happy birthday as well.
Yes.
I feel like what Tundra should be looking at for themselves is more range damage. Because so far, if you're looking at Tundra's heroes, there are some high committal heroes where they throw themselves into the meat of the team fight. You're going to have this Clockwork hook-shotting in, you're going to have the Brewlings in, you're going to have the Bat Rider lassoing in. And then when you have heroes that are like that, you're going to get Torrent Stormed. That's the issue with Kunkka. You need long-range heroes to play around the Torrent Storm, or you just have to completely disengage.
Yeah, Sniper, Kotter are the 2 heroes that Tundra most likely are leaning most towards. In this position, when we describe this hero, or this type of hero, it's always, these are the big 2. Sniper is your physical option, sometimes magic if you want to go for like the Kanda Axe build, and then Keeper Light. You can buy, you have Vessel, you can go Orchid if you want, even the Hex down the line, the control you bring, the speed that you play, it is super obnoxious to deal with.
I'm trying to find this hero that's good for this exact thing, but is also good against the potential Kunkka if he were to go mid. And I can't really find one that's perfect, but I can just find heroes that fit within like their structure of what they want. I was thinking maybe Klings. I feel like Puck is still in the pool, with the Sniper having been taken out as well.
It's why they didn't ban the Kotter, because Kunkka is very good against Kotter in the mid lane with the X marks.
Yeah.
It's banned out already.
Where is it?
Oh yeah, it's the very first ban.
Oh, I didn't even see that. Thanks.
You just don't want to give that hero to GPK. He's a monster on it.
Yeah.
But the issue with Puck here, though, is it's already solved within BetBoom's draft by Lion. Like, this Lion pick does cover for Puck. I mean, this may sound crazy, but I think Invoker is probably really solid for Tundra here.
Yeah, some
Invoker would be spicy. I mean, it's kind of soft answer by the Kunkka too, but I would say at the end of the day, you need to pick what's good and kind of like be confident that maybe the Clock can cover for it, the Brewmaster teamfight, like you have them going in.
The whole argument with the Puck pick, for example, is Lion is your key lockdown right now. If there's a Brew and a Puck, if you're locking down one, then the Brew will pop off. If you're locking down the Brew, then the Puck's going to pop off. So it doesn't really matter too much, and we'll see which Tundra's going for. They even ban out some Miro specialties with the Enigma and Lycan to close out their draft. That is the one thing that Tundra's maybe a little bit scared of. They need just a little bit of time for these heroes to become exceptional. Like Brew wants to farm a Radiance, Luna wants to get a Manta and a Kanda.
What's it gonna be, Thompson?
Hugner. Oh, okay.
That is a Topson Flare hero.
Yeah.
Also range.
Oh, and the Hype Man.
It'll also give you that range damage that you're looking for, that early game tower push, that lineup with the Nether Ward, that ball when you get together with Luna. But it is kind of a hit or miss hero, right? Because towards the late game, this hero gets solved very easily, especially when Weaver picks up a Nullifier.
I have seen Thompson like try some pretty interesting build that I haven't seen anyone else do, like some Witchblade, like actually right-click with some Luna Aura. Maybe he will look towards that later as well to give himself some survivability, perhaps. Definitely one of the heroes I cannot give a lot of analysis on, because Thompson he's something else. No one else would have picked Pugna in this slot.
And it's like here for BetBoom now, if you go for like, let's say a Storm to jump the backline or something, you are just going to lose your tower. You can't protect it as much. There's Pugna in the mid lane. Whatever moves you naturally want to make, you have to consider pushing out your way, preventing the Pugna from standing on that high ground, chipping away at your tower. You want to bring supports to the mid lane. We'll see if it works out. Just like we'll see if this lad can finish his pint.
He believes in himself.
He does, he does.
And with good reason.
He does. The cup toss is truly an art form, and he did well on GPK. Going for the Pangolier. I was mentioning some backline with a Storm. They go for, of course, the tried and tested, the Birmingham specialty, which is the Pangolier. There isn't the perfect lockdown for Tundra to lock him down. If the game goes super late, then it will be harder for Thompson to stand his ground. I think this will be, again, that Thompson might need to think about a BKB just to enjoy the late game, but yeah, refreshing drafts.
it can fight into the Brewmaster as well, which is going to be very important for BetBoom. And the follow-up lockdown, like you mentioned, will be very valuable. The only question mark for me is how does it do on lane versus Pugna? Because we don't really see Pugna mids very often. But I imagine you just, you get your runes and you rotate. You're not necessarily focusing too much on the mid lane.
You probably, perhaps you slightly lose, like with some Lunar Aura or like Pugna spamming you, but both teams have very nice supports that can move around the map. Honestly, this is another draft for me that is very up in the open. I would say it's very like gameplay dependent. How do the lanes go? How do the teams rotate on like very early with their supports? Like what moves can they really make happen? I'm hoping for game 3. I'm slightly leaning Tundra. I can only go off of instinct.
I think Tundra just got their bread and butter. They got their Clock plus Luna. They got their Toby Brew. They have their 9-class Batrider, so they're very comfortable. The only question mark is the X factor of this mid Pugna. We never see it. We know Topson loves it, but there's just not information to go off of here. But if Topson can pop off, then I expect Tundra to take us to game 3.
Yeah, I'm intrigued to know if GPK won't rotate as much just to protect his mid tower, and what supports can have freedom to come to mid. If you kill Topson Pugna a couple times, he'll lose his confidence in trying to be, as aggressive. He always will do it, but I think if you can shut him down just a little bit, then it's just a Pugna who's not really a core, but kind of slotting into that kind of slightly more farm than support.
Well, let's see. Let's keep our eyes focused on that mid lane and see how game number 2 of this series will play itself out. We're heading over to our commentary duo of Odie Pixel and Fog.
Thank you very much, Stevie. Yes, we're getting ready here to get into the action of game 2 between Tundra and BetBoom. Fog, I'm very excited to see Topson bringing out the Pugna.
Pugna's back.
But I gotta say, in terms of the draft, it does not look like an easy Pugna game.
No, we'll have to see how much they can get out of the lane, how much he can snowball. I think I heard someone, I don't remember who said it on a panel, but a BKB probably necessary at some points in this game on the Pugna, because a casual torrent, just a Pango rolling thunder, whatnot, could be quite debilitating for him. But we'll have to see. I mean, it's in Topson's hands, so who knows what he's going to do. I'm super excited to see it. I'm super excited to see aggressive plays coming out too. I think this one, I keep saying this, I'm probably going to be wrong again, but this one should have more action.
Okay.
I think this one last one we had what, 4-4 at
like 20
minutes?
I
think this one will have quite a bit more.
Okay.
I think Batrider also just thrives on aggression, and I mean, yes, he thrives on stacks as well too, but for me, whenever I see a Batrider 4 compared to most of these like Rubik 4s, it feels like he can just get so much more done in the early game. So I'm going to be looking at 9-class in particular for Tundra in the early game.
Let's have a look, see if we get some action even around the bounty runes.
Yep.
Both teams very ready to fight here really with the level 1.
I actually got to check something too, because I was looking through a bunch of the BetBoom games. I think I saw them play like what, 1 or 2 of these Weaver games, but not a whole lot. It's been rising, of course, in popularity, but let's see what build Nightfall is going to be looking to go.
Let's see how Topson can do in this mid matchup. Tundra will be able to make sure that Nightfall's not able to steal that bounty, just the 2 for 2.
All things balanced. Yeah, let's see how these lanes go down. It's a Weaver Mirana, very strong lane versus a Batrider and a Brewmaster. This could be a bit of a difficult one, just that right-click harassment constantly. Let's see how Toby withstands this pressure this time. Last time he did great on the Pangolier. This one does feel like it's going to be a little bit harder since he's not playing versus a PL. Super passive hero in the laning phase. Weaver will be looking to pressure you. While on the other side, we'll have to see how Miero does, in particular versus the Luna and the Clockwork, because this is a super powerful lane that we've seen dominate in this tournament. So these safe lanes could get pretty volatile.
And what about the mid matchup? Any chance for outplay here between these two on the Pango versus Pugna?
I don't think I've seen this one so often, but it feels like Pugna should have a pretty good time in this one. Whitemon taking quite a beating. Should be a little bit careful there.
Yeah, not easy to trade at the level 1. Once they've got a couple of levels, as you say, though, yeah, Luna Clock should be able to see if they can set things up, especially on towards save. If Whitemon's ever closed the gap, likely that Pure can bring in the right click to bring that line down.
Hey, both. It's going to be some crazy aggression that comes out save. Got another stun at the ready. Miero playing it nicely. This is how you pretty much have to play when you're playing versus Clock. You have to help out your 4 position a lot to tank some of those battery assaults. And yeah, I feel like Topson should come out a decent amount ahead, but we'll have to see, because I've seen a lot of these Pangos also just kind of match a lot of these matchups. Even though you get harassed so much, you're able to just constantly push in. So perhaps not.
And we saw last game how good BetBoom was at bringing in the early support rotations to pressure Topson under his tower. And this game on a Pugna is definitely one of those heroes that could be vulnerable to those early aggressive moves.
Squishy hero, for sure.
On top, one will be able to get a bit of a pull going there. Trying to keep that in as best a position as he can hit for his Luna.
9 Class has hard camp open. He's also starting to stack a little bit too already down here. So he's starting to prep himself just to get some type of ways to be able to farm with Firefly, just in case this lane does get pretty problematic, which it does feel like it will be for this Brewmaster. Nice arrow from Tokyo. I guess that's why he also didn't want to block the camp. He can always just stop the pull just by doing that.
I guess the thing is, in this mid lane, if GPK is able to keep it close and get up towards the 6, he can start to mess around with Topson.
Absolutely. There's going to be that kill threat, especially one rotation. Even if the Rolling Thunder, if Topson's just in a bad position, he just gets chain bonked. Could definitely get brought down. 17-0 on Topson. 2 CS ahead. Torrent, it's going to connect. Pure.
Going to be able to maybe bring him down with the Hex to follow things up.
They got him.
Blood. For
nice.
Miro.
What a play from Miro.
And this man had a beautiful game 1. If they set him up for success at the beginning of this one, you can expect big things to come out from the Kun Cup.
Yeah, can definitely see some pretty chaotic stuff happening, like a core Pugna playing versus an early Torrent Storm, right? If this Kunkka, I mean, he will go for that build, of course, so if he gets super early, could definitely feel some concerns for this hero.
Bottom lane.
Obi.
I mean, they've got high kill potential.
Ton of damage.
Then the arrow connects. He's got the stick charges, but it won't save him. BetBoom getting these early kills with these strong plays that they can pull off with this laning setup.
It's very, very strong side lanes. I mean, both sides, it's, like I said, volatile. Bottom, of course, BetBoom has much better kill threat constantly versus them.
And GPK continues to keep this mid matchup pretty
fine.
even.
Yeah, he's just keeping it dead even. So unable to pressure him. He's got the bracer. So in the past, Pugna versus some of these melee heroes can really thrive getting extra denies with Decrepify and stuff like that. Topson has 0, which is actually pretty huge. I feel like I used to see these Decreps actually cause more issues, but Pango just has ways to clear waves, even if you're Decrepified, so. Yeah, so far, really nice for GPK. Yeah, Toby, it's just going to be a really slow start for this Brewmaster, so we'll see how they try to get him back into the game.
On this top lane, White and Pure for all the potential they could have here. They're using Sniper on the creep. I mean, Miro he can't really be gone on. I mean, Whitemon's considering it, but it's so easy for these two to turn.
I love the save, sometimes you do just need like mana drain God. No, you get Hex in this lane for sure too. We saw them get the kill with it, but also it's going to prevent any aggressive plays from Whitemon to push forward here. Pure's still farming really well though. He's 20 and 8, but did die the once in comparison to the Weaver, who he will not die down here. He has no risk at all.
And on the other side, Tundra there, absolutely at risk as Nightfall. To chase 9 Class down, he'll live, but it's not easy for these two to play this lane right now.
Yeah, this is a bit rough. I think 9 Class is just going to have to go start getting those stacks started as the Bat Rider just to be able to enable himself in the brew. He's got a triple stack at least on that hard camp.
I think a lot's going to fall down to what Topson can do with this Pugna.
Yeah. The one thing is, though, is that also BetBoom can leave Nightfall alone. So the rotation from Toronto to Tokyo can be pretty free for that power rune in the mid lane to look to pressure onto Topson as well. Let's see who wants to pressure first. Topson, he does have a catapult wave. Do they want to look to hit this tower at all with it, since he can always just spam in and force GPK a little bit back? GPK buying a raindrop. Love it. We're playing versus these spammers. Yeah, Tokyo's already in the area.
Definitely going to amp up the pressure here. 6 minutes coming up on the clock.
He just arrows the catapult. Okay. So he just doesn't want any pressure onto the mid lane. And can still linger in the area, maybe get some stacks going and camp for the rune, since the Weaver's under no threat whatsoever.
If they get the angle of the setup here with the Rolling Thunder.
Yeah, Topson's got to be careful.
And both teams, I mean, this time Tundra bringing more in around the 6 minute than they did last time.
Oop, but guess who gets it? Tokyo.
He's able to snipe it. I'll pick that one up.
And he's just fine. Nice steal.
Obviously, with the way that the side lanes are going, BetBoom, their 2 cores. Miro up top and Nightfall down bottom. They do not mind being left on their own, so a lot of kind of room for their supports to make these moves, and both of these heroes are still going to farm just fine on their own.
Yeah, usually at like the 5 minutes, I tend to talk about the Lunar Blessing, like AoE damage for the whole team, the global, but it's not really helping these lanes whatsoever with the heroes that they have. The Brew doesn't really get too much out of it until 6. The Pugna as well too as mid. They catch him. He's way too far up.
I mean, as I said, it doesn't feel like it's going to be an easy game for
really
Topson on his Pugna.
And it's the last pick Pugna as well too.
They went all in on it.
Just see what effect it does have. Wisdom runes, looks like they're already starting to set up for it. Tokyo, he's scouting at the moment, just looking at these stacks. They will be able to get a 2-for-2 exchanges. See, Nightfall, he was thinking about it, but can't quite go for it. All right, Tokyo, just arrow all the big creeps, right? I think that's what he's going to plan to do. I think they have to go over and clear these stacks immediately now on the side of Tundra so they don't lose them.
Getting up towards the top lane.
Aggressive moves.
I'll get the setup onto Pure.
Toronto Tokyo's up here. He's level 5. It's a high burst damage from this Miranda if they can catch Pure.
Navarro back up in a few seconds, but Pure backing away.
He's getting slowed down on this Luna quite a lot already here.
Dire's bottom tower.
It's Kunkka, they can't push him out of lane. Phase double bracer, his damage is no joke, and soon to be 6.
All 3 lanes going pretty perfectly for BetBoom.
It's a pretty dominant start for them. And difficult for Tundra to make these rotations to look to pressure and fix these lanes too, because how do you want to gank something like a Weaver, let's say? You really don't have the option with your heroes whatsoever, so Nightfall is kind of out of the question.
Is under attack.
Could perhaps look for mid, but you still need some levels, right? Batrider's going to need that level 6 before you look to really set up onto a Pango or a Kunkka.
Topson will get the haste. Not a bad rune here to try and make a play with this Pugna.
Maybe just force his bottom. That's the other thing that the one thing that Pugna can do, of course, is just force towers completely. Maybe not go for setting up of kills, but just bully someone out of lane. See where he goes. Aggressive wards being placed by Tokyo. It is scouted. Stone will be taken out right away, but they've pushed Pure out of the lane.
It has to hit the jungle. Not a chance if he shows his face on that top lane. The 3 of them will kill him very easily.
Boat's already online. Brood does have split available also on Toby. As we've said, you know, he is getting pressured consistently here from Nightfall, and 1,000 difference of gold between him and his counterpart of the Kunkka just from these lanes. Looks to get to mid. Thompson just gonna blast that one out.
Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's middle tower.
He's got the haste too to protect himself, so as long as he sees where the Rolling Thunder's coming from, he should, in theory, be safe.
Make the move over, just grab the bounty rune to refuel.
Nightclass trying to steal some stacks. I think he saw a double or triple.
Dire's top tower.
Topson, now look to help out as well.
Yeah, they'll get a good chunk of them. Probably, yeah, just wait for Nightclass to have 6. Then they'll probably look to make a move with him, at least with the lasso. But until then, pretty limited moves that they can move with their lineup.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Upon a loyal warrior.
GPK, he knows he can sort of play forward. It's not easy for Tundra really to be able to punish.
Nightclass in 6. Now they potentially have kill threat on these lanes.
I'll see where he looks to go. He'll hover around mid for now. Closing the gap though on these heroes is not going to be easy.
No, probably going to smoke though. I think he has to start making something happen for his side lanes.
And they know something's coming. Save.
Okay, waiting for Power Rune.
In position here.
Radiant
Set something up, the scan will hit. Save. Right, a stun. He's not going to find the power in top. Nightclass tries for the knockback. Won't be able to commit with the lasso.
That's a nice rune. Arcane secured for GPK.
Tundra still not quite able to find anything with these moves. They're getting space to catch up with the cause. Of course, Topson, he is there at the top net worth. And Pure, he's caught back up perfectly. The farm's good on the Luna.
Yep, and Toby, he's got his talisman. He hasn't died. He's only died the once in the bottom lane. It could have been worse. Versus these double ranges constantly harassing him. And I mean, Nightclass has pretty much just been jungling for the last 7 minutes, so. Definitely not the greatest, of course, here for Toby, but with the lane that he was up against, not too shabby. But BetBoom, just these stacks, just watching it. Miro now work on them, these huge stacks that Save has been preparing for him. It's already cleared right through them.
If they can get the 6 on Save, I mean, as soon as that's there, you know, just about a creep worth of XP away, they can definitely look to try and set something up.
They have crazy burst.
With Miro, he gets it with the catch, got the completed blade mail.
I mean,
ready to frontline.
Their lineup has an insane amount of burst damage. Tundra's, it's a little bit slower where that burst is going to come from. It's mostly just Topson. BetBoom have the Kunkka. They have this the Lion, who's very, very farmed, and GPK, of course, as we see. They all have a pretty good nuke between the 4 of them, besides that Weaver.
And once again, kind of for Tundra's lineup, until the items are there, they will not have the best means of saving one another if they get jumped. Not going to be easy to bail them out. I mean, sure, there's a Decrepify, but you say with a burst, that doesn't really... It's not really likely Topson's going to be able to save people in these positions.
No.
Where are you watching?
And we'll see. They've managed to hold back and ensure that they don't get caught out as of yet. As I say, very likely that we'll see BetBoom try for something now that the 6 is there on Save.
Easy, yeah, just easier for them to naturally set up for these kills. They have Bruce Split, they have the lasso up on Nightclass, but getting on top of the heroes might be a little bit difficult. Toronto Tokyo has a leap. They actually
will
have
hold them
save
back.
here too.
They're going to have good burst. 9 Class, he's getting low, and
He's
they'll
gone.
finish him. GPK's able to jump over. They look towards Toby. He has got split if he feels threatened, and he'll have
He
to
just has
use
to
it.
use it. And these could just die.
I mean, he's got to run. He's going to quickly lose 3 of them. It's just down to the Earth Panda. Will get away, and that's a Primal Split having to be popped just to get out of there.
Oh, this is looking problematic.
I think she's looking rougher than the first game's opening, and that was also tough.
Yeah, GPK already has the Fusel Blade finished up, and that was an Arcane Moon Rolling Thunder, and Pure steps up.
Got the setup. Miro, it's the elusive beam. The will just drop the boat hitting, but the torrent still connects.
5 heroes.
He is very, very dead, Pure.
Nightfall will take that one. An instant Moonlight Shadow to hunt more. They're cruising through this early game.
I mean, if Save gets the catch onto Thompson,
1 stun is all it takes.
he's going to be able to get it, and he's still got the finger ready if the burst is required. They don't even need it. They get the drag back into the combo.
Oh, this
it's a
is
double kill for
disastrous.
Nightfall. 9 Class on the run, but they'll get him as well.
Doesn't even use the finger.
I mean, yeah, Save holding back because he knows he can let all those kills go to his carry.
Oh, this is brutal. The last pick Pug Knights, it's not working out right now. 2 deaths on him
It was
immediately
such a
when he
risky
shows.
pick.
Nightfall, that's the dream. Weaver
really
shows
is.
up, she gets a triple kill on 2 of the big cores. And they forced the Bruce Split, so that was honestly the biggest hit I feel like they could have done.
I mean, what on earth what do they do? What did Tundra do in this sort of position? They'll be able to push the tier 1 tower so they get something.
It's a great question. Whitemon and 9 Class and the Pug Knight feels like have to just kind of run around together somehow to try to reestablish this game, but where do they go and who do they kill?
Tower is under attack.
This is looking real difficult.
Has fallen.
BetBoom is so strong right now.
So tanky too. This Kunkka has, almost 2,000 HP. Pango, they're just difficult to kill. It's like the Lion is the easy one to kill, but that's not a target you want to go for. They may, try to think for Tundra if they want to just try to wait maybe for the blink on 9 Class and just be very patient and try to let them overextend, but BetBoom is just going to get so much out of the map in those moments. But I don't know if Tundra can actually make a move until they have a blink on this bat, as we've seen. He tried 2 or 3 times now, a smoke into looking for a lasso, and it just fell flat on his face.
Now, BetBoom have just always been ready for it.
They have been. So for Tundra, yeah, just some time. They're going to have to wait for Radiance, wait for Blink, and then perhaps wait for those timings, because BetBoom has just smashed this early game, and they're not going to slow down.
Oh, absolutely not.
Another smoke.
We've seen sort of how, Reserve Save's been with his finger usage. He's not needed to pop it, so it's still ready to go.
Just so much burst. They have a ton of damage in their draft.
Let's see what he can find out here. Save, GPK, and Toronto Tokyo on the hunt.
Oh, they're expecting Pure to be around here. Creeps are going to be respawning soon. They see him down bottom. Might just look for the dive.
I mean, this would be the top kill. Continue to cause a lot of issues for Tundra's game plan.
They've got deep vision too. They know exactly where he is.
Moonlight to close the gap. They know to check up here. They're going to be able to find the opening. Swashbuckle into the stun. Pure, he's caught by the arrow. The Rolling Thunder as well. He's gone. Another kill for Nightfall.
He just doesn't even use the finger. He knows he doesn't need it. Team's able to just clean him up. They are slowing down this Luna so much.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Whitemon also, he's been found.
He certainly has. And Miro's able to swing across, offer up the combo. Just complete and utter domination from BetBoom in this early game.
Tundra recognizing, though, that there's no way that they can help. Nobody even attempts to go for the TP. 9 Class is trying to finish that Blink. They're trying to finish the Radiant Sun Brew, but items are just starting to funnel in. Aghanims is more than halfway there from Yarrow. He's on Thompson again.
I mean, these quick moves, these quick setups, they just can't seem to stop it. The torrent into the stun. Thompson's gone this time, so he will drop the finger. He'll get the hex down to Toby. Toby will be able to put the Primal Split.
Oh my God.
Lasso's there. Save. They'll finally get themselves a kill here, Tundra, as they bring down the Lion.
But it's just the Lion, and they gotta run. Toby can even get away. Keeping that Earth Panda alive 4
Nightfall
seconds,
and Mirror's
they know.
on top of it. We'll be able to throw Mirror back up into the air, but Nightfall's still in and on top of him. As Swashbuckle's there, he's speedy here, and he does have the backup at 9 Class, so they'll be able to make sure that they cannot continue to dive here, BetBoom.
Pure's like, great job, team. Thank you so much. I'm getting some space finally. Able to hit the bottom tower a little bit, but again and again, Thompson, that's 3 times he's just been caught from any disable, and he's just instantly dead. The follow-up is there every single time from BetBoom.
Radiant's bottom tower.
I mean, with 9 Class getting the kill, it does give them the goal to get the blink.
Okay. Will they have the follow-up now at this point?
Boom, there
They're going to have bring numbers to be able to have that, but they have to have the Pugna. I think Topson has to just play very aggressive.
I mean, he's trying to here, has to sort of slide away as GPK and Nightfall turn upon him. They'll look to settle for Whitemon instead. As Whitemon, he'll fall. Topson, he's got to be careful. I mean, Miro, he's looking to close in for the setup
He's
with the
caught
X-Mark.
again.
He's got it. The X-Mark into the torrent combos there. Nineclass trying to push them out with the flame break, but the boat comes in. There's not a chance here for Topson as he's dead again.
The 0 and 4. They just have all the answers for this Pugna. Literally one catch, anything. If he gets hit by literally one stun, they always just have it as just... They don't seem scared of anything on BetBoom.
I mean, and they shouldn't be.
And they shouldn't. They're so tanky. They can lose their Lion, but that's just about it. Nobody else is even coming close to dying.
Tundra definitely feeling the struggles here. They went all in, as I say, on this final pick, Pugna, but it's just not looking to work out.
Nope. The lanes have just completely crumbled, and it's caused massive problems now into this mid game with these Aghanims. Pango soon has Aghanims, and Kunkka's about to have his finish up. It just makes the fights even more impossible.
Jump forward. I mean, Stave's having a turn with the setup. It's just going to be another one for BetBoom.
Kill after kill after kill, 13-1.
With his completed Blink Dagger as well. He's ready to start making even more aggressive plays, find the setup.
And they just have, look at this, they see Pure immediately. And just swing toward him. They also were blocking camps as well on the right side to prevent Pure from finding any farm.
Shot across, they're going to try and see if they can take down Nightfall. Nightfall's got the time lapse.
Nice cog.
Cogs won't push it back, they'll get it.
Beautifully done by Whitemon.
Big kill for Tundra.
That's as perfect as it could be from the clockwork.
And the money going to Toby as well, so that's going to help him get that Radiance completed. A big catch for Tundra.
Much needed. Instant smoke though. BetBoom looking to strike back.
They're looking for Pure. Might be blocked off here by Nineclass. They'll settle for the back.
But they'll have him with ease. Not having to commit a finger again or a Rolling Thunder, so can look to keep pressuring down toward bottom. Pure wanted to go farm down there, but immediately gets pushed back toward his jungle.
Full Ags on Miro.
Oh, Ags. Oh my god.
I mean,
I think like for Topson, if there's a fight that he just needs BKB. Like, how do you play versus Kunkka Torrent Storm as a Pugna? Feels very, very impossible. If the fight is, you know.
I mean, yeah, he's going to go straight for it after his 4-star.
He has to.
Phylactery, but it's a while away.
Yeah. BetBoom, they're just going to keep smoking, looking for these constant plays. I mean, everything is pretty much at the ready for them. Pure is still very far from his BKB to protect himself too. Radiance on the brew, but split on cooldown for 60 seconds.
Oh, look at this move here from BetBoom. Could catch out some of Tundra as they back off from this push.
Scan does catch them. Able to get themselves away. Pure able to survive and get himself a very sneaky TP position. Secondary Ags finished up. Roche soon to be on the horizon, it feels like, for BetBoom.
Illusion.
I think he's had, I want to say almost all the runes too on the side of GPK. It happens when you do get this full map control, but besides like I think the one haste that I saw on Topson, I think it's been majority on GPK. Maybe one shield I think for Topson too, but 14-2. Complete control.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And they just keep blocking Ancients. I think they did it again just now. So Pure, he'll farm that right side once, but afterwards it's not going to respawn.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Pushing in both the mid and the top lane here. Ready to set up off the back of a Moonlight.
Topson was able to finish the bottom tower. Can he sneak himself away? Miro's looking.
If the X mark's there, there's going to be very little to get him out of the combo. He's going straight out. Nicely done there through the twin gate.
He gets
but
X.
they'll see the vision. They set up with the torrent. They'll be able to drag him back with the X. Miro, very nicely done there, hunting for him in the tree line. That will make sure they get the kill.
Not a single one of the torrents from Torrent Storm hit him, but it didn't matter anyway. They had the follow-up.
Radiant are scanning.
Nice play, nice awareness. Gets the torrent for vision. Pure is getting space. That is the one thing that Tundra is happy about. Almost at this BKB. Of course, the rest of the heroes getting hunted constantly, but Pure probably saying thank you to his team as he is level 16, while Nightfall almost only level 15. So we're still seeing that power of the Luna farm.
BetBoom continues to do a good job this series of just going for these early Tormentor steals.
Everything at the ready again. Wisdom Rune.
And a TP back save. Won't be able to stop Whitemon from picking up the Wisdom Rune. But Whitemon, he's certainly going to die for it. As BetBoom, they'll be able to get the kill. Pure. Ooh. Oh, and then Miro nearly able to find him
So
there.
close.
Turn around the corner, but Pure's out of there.
Truly a game of cat and mouse. Tundra just trying their best to avoid as much as possible. Nightfall, he's looking for some hunt. Can't quite catch onto Thompson in 9 class. He already has his Lincolns finished up, so this Weaver, very difficult to kill, but we could still see it happen if Whitemon's able to do those godly kind of cog plays. Has to be kind of an overextension from Nightfall, though. BKB finished for Pure, so a lot more survivable, but doesn't matter. BetBoom, they still just want to look for these fights.
See what cash they can get. Toby's going to show himself around the tier 2. He knows that it's tough for them to go on him when he has to split up.
Yeah, he's on Void Brawler as well, too, so he's got that extra status resistance right now.
They're wrapping around. Trying to scout things out here with the Torrent. They're going to try and do with the Hex.
The lasso.
Can they burst through him though? The arrow does connect. They're in with the Rolling Thunder as well. They've killed off 9 glass. Toby will manage to get the split off in time. GPK
the mark.
turns over towards
They're on Pure.
They've got the control. GPK gets the angle to roll over towards the Luna. Pure, he's falling low. Nightfall.
20 HP.
Save
finds him.
He's able to finish him off. Take down Pure. As BetBoom, they can continue the cleanup. They'll look towards Thompson. The X-Mark drag back into the Torrent, kills him off. Toby's been trying to kill off Toronto. Tokyo get the stun, but Toronto
He can't finish him.
He's able to get away.
Okay.
Finally, he'll fall. But Tundra, they've lost 4. They're going to lose 5. BetBoom get the team white.
What a wraparound. Toby even gets his split off, but it doesn't matter. Pure is dead before the fight even starts. He's at what? It was like 10% HP before he even gets BKB off. Full panic and run away. Beautiful play again from BetBoom. A couple spells there from Tundra not hitting. I think the Clockwork Hookshot ends up not connecting onto Miero. Perhaps could have at least gotten 1 trade kill there, or a secondary trade kill, but a clean fight, BetBoom. They got on Pure.
They really did. Pure only able to get the BKB off towards the very end of the fight, and it was all too late.
Dire's middle
He did like 1,000 damage. I mean, Toby did 4K, but pretty much nobody else was able to get any spells off. Just BetBoom surrounding them. Nightfall?
They're trying with the hookshot in, but it's going to get caught by the creep. They'll pop the Lincolns.
Ooh, nice try from Whitemon. Trying to get in front for the bounce back, but unable to. 21-3. Roshan still bottom for about a minute. They want to look to force it on the side of BetBoom. But maybe also just feeling confident to look for these kills.
Precious bump.
And Tundra cannot afford another fight to occur where Pure's not able to get to play. They have to, Pure's got to make sure that he's ready to react, get that BKB off, and the rest of the team have to be in some sort of formation that forces BetBoom to go on the others.
And it's still always going to be difficult for him because, of course, he's behind, but he's playing into very tanky heroes. He's playing into Rum, which is always going to cause issues for something like Luna to commit and kill. And then there's also Guardian Greaves. So a ton of sustain that BetBoom has on their heroes versus some limited farm that Tundra has right now. Yeah, I really like their itemization again.
The back away. Tundra, BetBoom. Almost certainly going to look to go again here. 4 minutes to play with Zages.
Yeah, swinging over perhaps for a Tormentor if they'd like to. And then look to go pressure. They have a smoke available too right after it, so. And Nightfall just massive. But keeping up in pace, actually ahead of the Luna is just, huge. Something not many heroes can do. Nightfall's been able to do it just because he has 8 kills under his belt.
I'd like to going to go as soon as Toronto Tokyo wants to make the move with the Moonlight Shadow.
They have this deep vision. This ward was not taken out, Owen. It's a cliff ward that was not taken away, and it's their own 3 minutes already, and they have the secondary one up top, so they have absolutely full information right now.
Tundra definitely feeling the pressure.
Full BKB now on Miero. Top
in the mid.
He's got his BKB.
He's going to have to pop it. BKB into the TP out. Thompson makes it away.
Can 9 class get away though?
I don't think he can. GPK is in on top of him. They'll take out the bat.
is under attack.
Well, that's the showing of the BKB for Thompson. 80 seconds, not going to have it.
Then
Pure still just doing his absolute best to
Save.
try and find these positions to safely farm.
Save is on top of Toby, and he's got rotations coming in. Miero is coming over, but they feel like this is enough with GPK coming over for sure.
They know where he is. He's in the trees. They'll try and scout it out with the Torrent Vision. Jump forward and save. They have the opening stun. Can they stop him from getting the split off? He's going to be
He gets it off. He might be able to kill Save with
He's
this.
going to turn straight over towards Save indeed. Torrent will throw out a couple of the pandas as Save Caught by another stone.
He's kiting.
I mean, they're clearing through the pandas pretty quickly, though.
It's gonna be close.
Down to the earth, pandas.
He
Plenty
finishes
will die. But Toby, he'll lose his life in return for it.
Say we'll take that. But Toby might also say he'll take that too.
I mean, they're going to see if they can maybe swing across to check through the jungle and see if they can find Pure.
They saw him for a second.
Pure, he'll have to BKB TP. So he's going to try and see if he can take down Toronto Tokyo. They're going to have the X mark.
It's going to be getting him.
Be able to pull him back. Straight back over into the torrent.
Oh, Miro, honestly, from last game to this one, this man is just killing it.
Completely ruining them.
But they're tipping toe. I think he must have scouted him. I think maybe an arrow must have scouted. I didn't actually get to see what saw Pure because he was hiding in the trees. He was hiding in the jungle and something caught vision. So I assume it might have been something like that.
BetBoom.
Radiant are scanning.
Topson shows up top. He has BKB available.
Pretty far.
Might just have to use it
He's got to
again.
do it again just to TP.
All right, where's the Bashers queued up? I mean, GPK actually has his Basher already, so next time.
I mean, and that's the thing as well, especially with BKB starting to go low, it's going to be even easier for Miro to make these X-Bar plays. And in the mid, Miro's able to just run down and kill off 9 class. It's getting messy now.
It's been messy. 25-4.
And they've got eyes on Whitemon. It's going to be another one here. BetBoom.
Tundra
Absolutely stomping their way towards the grand finals here.
Tundra just can't make an aggressive move themselves the entire game. It's just been them on the back foot since before the
And
lane.
the jump for Thompson on the high ground.
There's no BKB,
There's the jump for Safe as well.
and he's just gone.
It's rough.
0-7 on the last big Pugna. BetBoom just have all the answers.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Expect the base. He's gonna come right back, and they can start sieging. Pure, he gets bashed.
They're going to get the jump on him.
He's getting chain stunned.
That's something with the Rolling Thunder. He's going to get pushed back.
He's gone.
He's gone.
One bash into a hex. See you later.
We'll see how much they want to withstand, but they may tap out soon. This is getting painful. Toby's gone.
Another tidal wave. They're just dying in the base, one by one. Toronto Tokyo walking in, standing under the towers.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Wow. This is a clinic.
It really is. Game 1, it's only had a bit of back and forth, but this game 2, there is nothing close about it whatsoever.
Feels like, for me, in the games that I saw, this might be one of the most one-sided ones because there's just been, it feels like very little chance for Tundra to come back or even get any kills on most of these cores. They got the one on Nightfall, and that's it.
Dire's middle
And I think, again, just with the draft, it's sort of difficult to see the vision that Tundra must have had coming into this one.
Yeah, the
What the plan was, I guess the confidence was there. They felt that Thompson may be able to pop off, maybe do much better in that mid matchup than ended up going down.
Perhaps, yeah.
He was able to potentially accelerate to a point where he can make these moves around the maps, take early towers. It just really didn't happen this game.
And to be honest, with BetBoom, they really took advantage of every time I saw what Thompson was blasting a tower. There was instant TPs. Like 3 heroes would TP, get an X set up onto him, and he's just dead at that point. Super fragile versus all this burst that they have. Greaves, Pipe. Yeah, they're just cruising toward the victory.
Maybe on the high ground, maybe with a lasso, dragging someone back beyond
Into the fountain.
balls, into the fountain.
Feels like a fountain is necessary at this point.
I think so. It's not been a pretty game there. You see on the death, everybody taking heavy hits this game on Tundra.
Radiant are scanning.
Just such quick moves. Let's see what BetBoom looks to do. I mean, they could pretty much do whatever they want, it feels like, on this map in Tundra. Do they have a timing that they're going to be hitting at least, even though they're at this deficit? I mean, they have the phylactery, maybe Pure's 20 talent, and then you just try to go for it or something, but doesn't feel like fighting outside of the base is an option at all.
I mean, and of course for BetBoom, they'll fight wherever they want.
Absolutely. Super tanky. Tons of damage, tons of control.
Let's see who they find. Whoever they do is likely to die.
Miro's just charging in, no fear whatsoever.
Look over towards the trees. Whitemons able to push it back with the cogs. They do jump.
Nightfall, but he's gone.
They're going to get the time lapse off. They'll get the last ball onto Miro. And Miro's able to put the BKB, get his full combo.
Pure's tag.
They've got the Hex onto Pure.
He's gone.
Pure, he's getting burst though. Get the BKB off, but it's too late. Pure's dead. once again, just couldn't get the BKB off earlier in the fight.
They
Don't
can't-
stand a chance. Thompson, he'll look to TP out. He'll make it away. But they've lost 2, and they're likely to lose Toby as well here. The
They're
split
too
comes
tanky.
to an end. It's going to be 3 more kills for BetBoom.
They're way too far ahead. Nobody drops too low. Kunkka drops to about half HP, but they've got Pipe, they've got Greaves, they've got the Rum. They just come in full on top and pure. BKB's down to 6 seconds. Can't deal the damage fast enough.
And even in that sort of position where you could tell, Tundra, they were kind of prepared for what was coming. They knew that this sort of move was being made by BetBoom, but it didn't matter. Even if they're set up in that high ground position, they're just so far behind. It's so hard to do anything. And lucky to TP out there. Toronto Tokyo nearly catches Whitemon with that.
They could have, maybe if they had one extra form of disable, kill Nightfall, but I don't even think that solves the issue. They probably all just get wiped afterwards, and they didn't have that disable, so Nightfall just time lapses, runs right back in, and cleans up.
Is under attack.
23k deficit.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
They're still gonna try. 9 class, he is smoking up. They're looking for another effort.
Double damage.
So they will lose their Filmenter once again. Another shard this time, a nice one over the way of save.
Who's been an absolute menace this game, honestly, save these hexes, these stuns. Just always seems to be in the right position at the right time. Toronto.
Toronto Tokyo. And they'll get it.
And that's a gem.
A little bit of something. A very little bit of
Very little bit. At least they'll be able to take out some of these wards, right? Get rid of some of this pesky vision that's on their side. They'll take anything they can get at this
Looking
point.
for these little pickoffs. It's something that they can do, especially if they find a support. Finding a core might not be anywhere near as
Is under attack.
clear if they're actually going to be able to get that kill. In the team fights, it's just going to be terrifying. Nightfall, he's very likely to have the Daedalus completed for the next fight, so if they don't deal with this Weaver, he will kill everybody.
Yeah. Level 21. Roshan is up too, so he's probably going to just have an Aegis as well to boot for that next fight.
And BetBoom, as soon as Toronto Tokyo's back up, they'll be ready to go again. Maybe they'll even be ready to go before him. They're that strong right now. They have that much of a lead.
They're waiting for him. They're sticking together, not giving any opportunity to Tundra. As soon as he starts respawning, they're going to look to start going. They saw the rocket as well fly over, so they should know. Yeah, he's back up.
And it's off.
That would be an easy Roshan.
Tundra, at least they know that's happening, so they can just farm the map and try to get at least a little bit out of the time that they're doing it.
Yeah, again, Pure's doing it as best as he can.
Oh, but they see Pure. Save is on him immediately.
And they've got the opening.
They've got the chain
There
stun.
is some backup here for Pure. A GPK's in with the Rolling Thunder. This time Pure will get the BKB off nice and early.
But he can't TP.
They're going to continue to chase. They're going to have the X-Bar trap up, but the lasso is there to try and disrupt the combo of the Kunkka.
But
It
Pure's
doesn't matter,
bad.
though. The combo connects still. As Pure's out, the rest of Tundra have to run once more.
Save again and again, just finding these catches, these hacks.
And Toby here, under the cover of the split, he's trying to run, but they're in on top of him. The bash is coming. It's just going to be 3 more kills once again for BetBoom.
Just so fast to make the moves. Pure tries to seize an opportunity just to get a little bit of extra farm. And yeah, he's under a ward. They didn't check that spot with the gem that they had recovered. So just a quick hex and... Jeez, yeah, these guys are just so good at getting these catches. Save in particular. This game just... It feels like he's everywhere on this Lion.
And they're ready to run it down the mid. They maybe even look to just end the game.
I think they could, yeah.
We'll see what they want to take, how careful they want to play it. They'll look towards the bottom set of racks first. They're still at tier 2 on the top lane.
Toronto Tokyo will force that one in while his team forces bottom. Thompson gets popped by Bash.
I do indeed. GPK is ready to try and follow up on it. Put the BKB, Thompson. GPK into the trees, so he's going to find the angle perfectly onto Whitemon. It's a dead clockwork.
Relentless aggression.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Sure.
The second Thompson shows, it's just, they instantly just jump his face.
Here's back up. He's going to TP in aggressively.
They see him. They saw exactly where he was.
Trying to get out with the smoke. He's trying to do something
Again.
crazy, but they're able to get the opening onto it. There's going to be the buyback from Whitemon. Decrepify offered up here as Thompson's going to try and do his best to save Pure. Will allow Pure to put the BKB. Turns over towards Nightfall. Nightfall's able to get the time lapse off. As Nightfall's perfectly
The X,
fine.
the torrent.
They drag him back in. Pure, they decrepify the heals. Thompson trying his best to keep Pure alive, but Thompson's gone down. The tidal wave brings them back. GG is called. BetBoom will be moving on straight to the grand final.
Well deserved, honestly. This game was absolutely insane. They just kicked it up a notch. They just put the pressure on 10. Honestly, I've never seen such fast-paced games like this. In this meta right now, I feel like we rarely see a team just sweep the map like that and get kill after kill. They were keeping up the 1 kill a minute. It's 40 kills at 36 minutes. They were just cruising through, finding absolutely everybody. It's not like like you were saying, it's not like somebody has, one death, someone's avoiding the ganks or something on Tundra. Everybody is getting picked
Everyone was
off.
suffering on Tundra. They really were that game. And yeah, for BetBoom to do it here in the upper bracket final.
Big deal.
I mean, just goes to show sort of the level of Dota that these lads can achieve when everything just sort of lands and hits right, especially with the setup again. With this draft, I think BetBoom, they certainly had set themselves up for success. Tundra, they tried to come in with that Tundra flair, that Topson flair, and it didn't work today.
Yeah, honestly, the individual play from BetBoom was just through the roof today. The top lane in particular, you can see that there's potentially maybe some, this Clockwork Luna lane, we've seen it do excellent in a lot of instances. We've seen it even shut down something like Kunkka. But this time around, Miro ends 10-0-7.
He's had a great series.
Dave is 4-2-28. Like, they absolutely decimated all three of these lanes. It's spectacular to see.
Yeah, I mean, moving forward to the grand finals, this team is going to be quite the challenge for whoever manages to get up there to go against them. Because when everything goes flawlessly from the start and they get ahead, it's just so hard to shut this team down. We saw in game one, Tundra giving a pretty good effort of disrupting that sort of advantage that BetBoom were getting. But in this game too, Tundra just unable to really do much at all. Pure was trying his best to keep up in farm, but even with the items he had, BetBoom able to find these junks and these beginnings to the team fights that meant that Pure just didn't get to play the fights at all.
Yeah, and the last pick, Pugna just, Topson may have seen something this time, but it just nothing worked out for him at all. They just had his number in every single moment.
Yeah. Well, of course, we'll get to see Tundra continue to have a bit of a chance as they'll be knocked down to the lower bracket. But as for BetBoom, going straight forward to that grand finals, and I believe we'll be able to head over to the stage to hear from them right now.
Thank you so much, Odie Pickle. Yes, indeed, I am here, Miero. Well done. What an amazing series, but more importantly, what an amazing game. What are you guys eating today? Where did this come from? This is a BetBoom I have not seen in quite some time.
We're just doing our job.
Just doing your job? Your job is a kill a minute? That's your job?
For sure.
Okay, fantastic. Well, you're on the way to the grand finals now. Congratulations. Not to take away from your win here, but last time we saw you guys in the grand finals, didn't go too hot. Feeling pretty good now, though. What's going to change this time? You guys ready for this?
For sure, we're ready. Yeah.
All right, all right. Were you expecting that series to go like that? I mean, Tundra, oh, there we go. Woo, the fans are ready. Tundra's a very, tough team. Were you expecting to beat them like that?
We was preparing a lot for this team. So, yeah, the game was a bit rough, the first one.
Yeah.
So the second one was easy.
Well, it was mostly you that saved that first game, as the Beastmaster with the sheepstick. Were the boys impressed? Were they happy with you? Who was the MVP of game one?
The second game?
Both of them.
Both. I think it's safe.
Oh, save. Oh, the MVP. Oh, he just looks angry after. Okay, but no worries. All right. Any words out there to the fans that are now going to see you in the grand finals?
I just wanna say happy birthday, Alexander Severinov. It's our show.
Oh, very nice. And anything for the East peeps right here? Thank yous or anything?
Yeah. Thanks for support, all of you. I love you.
Ah, fantastic. All right, ladies and gentlemen, well, let's give it up one more time for our first going to the grand finals. BetBoom! Let me hear it! Yeah.
Thank you very much. Congratulations to BetBoom for being our first grand finalist here at ESL 1 Birmingham, and in quite the fashion as well. I feel like this was a beatdown.
Yeah, maybe we can question the Pugna pick a little bit, but I don't really want to go there. At the end of the day, gameplay triumphs everything. And the way that BetBoom played in this game is honestly quite nasty. They get a kill top on Luna while they're level 2 with some random blind torrent where they just start there. They rotate perfectly. Nightfall is fine on bottom. They leave him alone. They go top. They take, this just looked like some OpenAI textbook gameplay. Tundra tried, but once Thompson has such a bad early game, honestly, I don't know where they can take it from there.
I was losing a little bit of faith in Kunkka before we got into this series. Like seeing it go to off lane, seeing it getting bullied so many times, and then in this game, it's like